Alrighty, welcome in, folks. Here with my buddy Freedom by Me. If you haven't subscribed to him yet or checked out his channel, please do so. He's got some great content, good reviews, some good info on like prepping, things like that. So give him a sub and check out his content. So we're going to get started here. I wanted to ask you just a couple questions. How did you start on YouTube? What made you start on YouTube?
Well, I started about, if you ever look at my account is actually about 18 years old or something like that. And back around, I don't know, 2010, I started an account and I was doing 5.7 content, 5.7 millimeter content.
Okay.
On the tests and stuff like that. Actually, it was, around 20, probably before that, like 2008, maybe. And Barack Obama was the president, and I am a veteran. And that was right around the time where he said veterans on YouTube and stuff like that are domestic terrorists. So I let it scare me off. And the funny thing is, the guy, I had made some friends, other small channels when I started back then. And those guys are all over 100,000 subscribers now because they didn't quit. But I was like, I had a business and everything. So I'm like, I don't need none of this nonsense. But so I didn't do it for a long time. Then I moved out of the mountains probably about 3 years ago, and I bought a big homestead. And it's like, well, I'm going to just start putting up videos for my family because we moved far away. And then people started watching, and I was like, wow, well, try and make some videos. And then, a few more people started watching, and I'm like, well, maybe I ought to try and edit some of these videos instead of just streaming, nonstop. And a few more people started watching. And I was trying to really focus on homesteading stuff because YouTube hates gun channels, as you know. And,
I do.
Nobody watches that stuff. Nobody watched any of my homestead videos. So even though I thought they were pretty good, I thought they were not bad, but really didn't get any views. But if I did a gun video, I'd get 10 times more views. So I was like, well, I see where this is going. So I started making gun content. And you told me about some affiliate programs. And I got hooked up with it, like 180 different companies. And, affiliate companies. And they start sending samples. And I'm like, well, I guess now I'm a review channel. But what I would really like to be is a live action short movie channel. I just put one up yesterday, or the day before. Yeah, the day before, like a post EMP type of scenario. And that's what I enjoy making. But, they don't pay the bills,
Yeah.
People think you make money from AdSense and all that through YouTube. You don't make crap. You have to be, I think, 1 million views for, what is it, a 10-minute video makes you $4,000.
Yeah.
It's 1 million views, so.
No, it's
Unless
crazy.
you're a big channel, you are not making nothing through YouTube. So
no, I spend 10 times what I make just making videos.
Right. So
or more. I don't know.
Right. So now I got hooked in with the reviewing stuff, and companies send out sample products. I review the products. I give my honest, no BS opinion on the products, and I'll say, this is okay for home defense, or this is okay for plinking at the range, or this one is okay for like hunting. This is one that a cop could use, like duty use. And then this one you can, dive into halo jump into a swamp with this. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's varying levels. So if somebody sends me $150 red dot with an IPX6 rating and, 1,000 G shock rating, well, that's perfectly fine for home defense. That is absolutely, if you're a run-of-the-mill deer hunter, that's perfectly fine for hunting.
Yep.
But don't halo jump into a swamp with that one. You know what I mean?
Right.
So there's
right.
tiers.
Yeah.
But it's amazing. A lot of this Chinese equipment has gotten scary good.
Yeah, it has. It has. I've tested some stuff that I'm amazed by.
Right. And it's cheap.
Hmm?
and it's cheap.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think CV Life is trying to come up to
Yeah, I think
maybe be the
I
next kind of Hollow Sun, type of thing.
yeah, I worked for CV Life at SHOT Show last year, and I literally told the founders of the company that they needed to raise their prices.
Yeah. No, 100%.
I mean,
So
I,
everything
I
I've
literally
touched.
told them, but they didn't understand. I was like, no. I used to have an auto repair business for a couple of years. Oh my
Sorry about
lord,
sorry
we
about
got
the
an
dog.
intruder. We might get to see a shooting on live
You might.
TV,
You might.
and then YouTube will cut our stream immediately.
Yes. Wow. I'm gonna
But
mute
in
my
any case,
mic. I'm gonna mute my mic for a second. I'll see what the hell's going on here.
okay. So anyway, folks, I used to run a repair shop back in the day, and I had very low prices. I was just starting out. I was trying to get a customer base going, and I couldn't get customers. I didn't understand it. And another guy I knew who also had a shop told me, "Hey, double your prices, and you'll have customers." And I did, and he was right. I doubled my prices, and all of a sudden, same skills, same person, same amount of work, I had all the customers I wanted. So I was trying to explain to CV Life, if you sell something for too cheap, people will think it's junk automatically.
Yep.
And they could not understand that concept. I'm like, like you look at Geisley, right? The best. If you ask me, Geisley is no better at all than BCM, but it's double the price. So, you get your rich guys who are like, oh, Geisley. They were a few years ago, they were selling standard USGI aluminum mags for $50 a piece. And they got caught because they left some of the numbers on the side. And people looked it up and realized, wait a minute, you're selling us $10 mags for $50. But it's the name, man. It's the same with, Mercedes, Porsche. Once you got that name. So people associate high price with high quality. And it's not always true, but
So have you checked out anything from Sealy yet?
I reached out to them when I had probably 2,000, 2,500 subscribers, and they told me we won't, we want to see 1,000 views on average on all your review videos, and I ain't there yet. So they
So
told
they
me,
reached out to me and sent me out a really nice dot,
yeah, no,
which
nothing. Now I have like recently, Claris just reached out to me. There's a flashlight company. They make really good flashlights. I work with some high end companies, but it seems like it depends. There's a lot of turnover in these marketing departments.
mm-hmm.
I have noticed, and it seems like who you get. It's like anything else. If a cop pulls you over, you know, is it cop A or cop B, and that can determine the rest of your life.
Yep.
Literally.
Yep.
So it's the same thing with these marketing people. But yeah, I get like I've been working with this one company, Dear for Me. They make like outdoor products, and I've done like 8 videos for them. Well, they must have fired the person that I was working for with, where he quit, because a new person from Dear for Me just reached out to me today. Oh, we've been watching your videos. We would love to work with you. I'm like, I already reviewed like, half dozen of your products. Sure,
Yeah.
I'll do more. You know what I mean? But, it
Yep.
depends who you run into. I would happily do reviews for Sealy because I heard that they're pretty good.
Pretty solid. Yeah, I had the same thing happen to me with Viridian. So I
Right.
was getting some Viridian stuff, and then they switched, marketing directors or whatever, and now radio silence. So
They literally have never given me the time of day.
yeah,
I reached out. I'm affiliated with them, but I've tried to get them to send out product samples a million times. And they're like, nope. They don't even respond. So
yeah, no, yeah, and that happens to me sometimes. I reached out to, who was it? Oh, Neomag. So I reached out to Neomag like a year ago and didn't hear anything at all. And then all of a sudden they were like, "Hey, we're going to send you 4 samples to review."
right. They
Okay.
just sent me that new swatch thing they got. Have you seen that? It's
No,
like
I haven't seen
I
that.
can't remember what it's called. They're probably going to hate me after this, but it's like looks like you attach it to like your vehicle seats or your wall or whatever. You could hook gear on
Oh,
with
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
I don't remember the name of the product, but I got a review coming up for that soon.
But they sent me a backpack insert that's You
Yeah,
can put different
probably
attachments
you
on.
could use. Yeah, you could use this for that. I've
Right.
been working with a company called Redwin. They sent me an enclosed emitter. It's called the Cobra TRA. It's multi reticle, 1200 G shock rating, IPX7. That's duty grade.
Yep.
Those
Yep.
specs are duty grade, and it's an enclosed emitter. So, in fact, that's on that bottom AR right behind me.
Okay. All right. All
I
right.
like it
Cool.
enough that is my prime. The bottom one is my. Oh, there we are. That's my primary home defense AR, and
Nice.
that's the optic I put on it. So, but
Yeah.
all the optics on all those guns were all free. The top two uppers were free, So, well,
Yep.
not free, as you know. We got to do the videos and the editing.
Yeah. Yeah, we do. So I'm sure. Well, we talked about it. I took a month off. I got burnt out, and now I'm back on it. But yeah,
Well,
it'll
I'm
get
pretty
you.
much paying the bills with this, so
Yeah.
I can't take a month off.
Good for you. Good for you. I work, 50 hours a week or so, and I work odd hours. So,
Well, I'm pretty
and
much retired, and I own everything in cash and have literally zero debt. I don't believe in credit cards. I don't believe in new cars. So like as I said, I was a mechanic, so I fixed my own vehicles. I own my house in cash. So
yeah,
I don't
man,
have much debt, so I can do this full time and pay all the bills.
yeah, good for you, man. Good for you. So I just bought a new vehicle. I wasn't planning on it, but it happened.
What'd you
And
buy?
huh?
What'd you get?
I got a 2024 Colorado 4x4,
You like that?
and I do actually. It's so I don't live in the city. I live kind of outside the city, but I do work in the city. So the parking spaces are small. It's kind of a pain in the ass. I used to have a Ram quad cab, and it was a pain in the ass to park when you go into the city. I do like the Colorado. Someone put a damn door dang on it in the first 3 days I owned it.
Of course they did.
Pretty good little
That
thing.
third thing, like a $2,000 third thing. I have
Yep.
a 2010 BMW X3, and I have a 94 Z28 Camaro.
I've seen the Camaro before in some of your videos. So
Yeah,
you
it's pretty
started
cool.
out with a lot of car stuff, right?
I don't know if I'd say a lot, but some shorts, to get established. I'll tell you, I don't know about you, man, but I don't think you do many shorts. I tried to tell you to do them, and you don't.
I used to, and then I kind of fell off of it. I need to get back on it
I
because
put out a short every day, and I will bet you that half of my subscribers come from shorts.
Yeah.
40% come from like my favorite. I put up 3 of my favorite movie clips of all time. They were clips that weren't really available in real high quality on YouTube, and I wanted them for myself. So I edited them, upscaled them to 4K, and put them on YouTube. And although they all go viral, so
Yeah, I've seen
40%
that.
of 40% of my subscribers are through that, and 50% through the shorts, and then probably 9% of the rest is from my short live movies. And my review videos get like almost no subscribers.
Yeah.
I spend the most time on them. I try and make them entertaining and useful. A lot of people tell me they like them, but I just don't get any subscribers from that. So
Yeah.
I
No,
can't even monetize my channel because of the viral movie clip videos that I put up. But I wanted them up there, and I'm not worried about making $30 a month on YouTube. You know what I mean? From ad
Yeah.
revenue.
No,
So,
understood. Yeah, I think I get on average about, I don't know, $70 a month off
right,
YouTube.
right. I'd
And
rather just have there's advantages to not being monetized. I can use whatever music I want. I don't got to worry about them demonetizing it. I don't have to worry about them telling me what topics I can monetize and not monetize. None of it's monetized. So I just do whatever I want. So there's a lot
right.
of freedom in that. And all my income is coming from the product reviews, the free samples and stuff, free. But, I do the video and then I sell it to my neighbors or, whatever, trade for stuff and all that. So,
Yep.
but I'm a
Yeah.
retired guy, so I can afford to piddle around. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I unfortunately am not. So I have to kind of squeeze it into having a family and working full time and, you know, whatever else. But I think this month break has done me some good. I'm ready to get back in the saddle and knock some videos out. And I've had a couple companies waiting for a little while, like a month and a half or so, for me to do a review on. But I'm kind of switching the format to, I think I'm going to start doing these Tuesday night lives and then doing one product review a week.
Right.
And
I try to do at least three reviews a week.
Yeah.
Because the more I do, the more they send. So,
right.
You know, you could never, you know, I need to do 12, 13, 14 a month to turn them over so I can move that product and keep it coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, understood. I'm a super structured person, so I think that's what broke me down on YouTube is I'm very structured, and I started getting all these products piling up, and it overwhelmed me, and I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? You know, and I think that the way for me to do it is to structure it with, okay, I know I'm doing a live every Tuesday at 8. And I know I'm doing a product review and I'm posting that video every Friday. And I think that kind of helps me focus on what I'm supposed to be doing. So.
Right. Oh, by the way, hello folks in the live stream there.
Absolutely. Looks like mostly your people in there. Welcome, y'all.
Do you have regulars yet?
I do a few. Yeah. Nobody in there yet, but
hopefully some will show up and they can argue with each other. Hey there, Nobody. Nobody is a very, very interesting character.
Okay. Hello, Nobody. What makes Nobody interesting?
I don't know if Nobody wants me talking about his background. He's a very interesting character. I'll leave it at that.
Enough said.
If he wants to type away, you know, his background in there, he's in our chat. So
yeah, I see it. Enough said.
Yeah.
Well, welcome, Nobody, and everybody else that's in there. So I wanted to talk a little bit about budget accessories, firearms, and the kind of hate they get from some of the gun community. Both of us, I think, have reviewed quite a bit of budget accessories and firearms, and it's a weird thing that the gun community should be the gun community, right? But there's the people that are, oh, I'm only using this, I'm only carrying this. I'm, like you said, you know, you can get something that's half the price of something else that's just as good. So have you experienced that in some of your comments? And
I never say it's just as good. What I say is it's good enough.
Right. That's a good way to put it.
The what's the name of the guy that worked for Swamp Fox? Gideon.
Yeah.
The president of Gideon was on with Ian McCullough, you know, Gun Jesus, not that long ago. I'm sure we all know who Forgotten Weapons is.
Yep.
And he explained, look, people look at an aim point and they look at my red dot and they both do the same thing. And externally, we think, you know, they both do the same thing. And they'll say, oh, it's good enough. And he was actually talking up his competitors. And he said, the truth is, you can halo jump from 30,000 feet with an aim point, land in the water, do a water extraction underwater at 50 feet, you know, onto an enemy beach, crawl through sand, you know, it's going to work. It's not going to fail. He said, I wouldn't do that with my optics, but that's okay because 99% of us don't have to do that. So like Nobody just said there, good enough is all that really matters. You have to examine your use case. Now, there are companies out there like Pinty that make trash. You know.
Oh, that optic was a mess.
Oh my Lord! We both reviewed that. I literally shot mine.
Yeah, purpose. I know. I saw that. I haven't got around to it yet, but I think I might light mine on fire.
Right. Yeah, just so it doesn't pollute the world.
Correct.
But
those are bad.
You got the you remember the one from the old video games? It's got the little head-up display window. It was all the video games, and it's got like 4 reticles.
Oh, yeah.
Switching that. Like that works fine as long as you don't so much as bump it against the wall or something like that. Like,
yep.
And like my godson, he's a gun guy. He had one of them on his AR for years. I'm like, these are freaking junk. What are you doing? He's like, it works fine. And then every time we get to the range, he's like, it's not zeroed. I don't understand it. It would get jostled in the gun case on the way to the range and lose zero.
Yep.
I'm like, you got to pay at least something. But nowadays, if you're spending $100 for a 20 millimeter tube red dot from a Chinese company, you're going to get a pretty good product. If you spend,
it's amazing how far they've come.
if you spend 150, you get a pretty good pistol dot.
Yep.
And you spend 250, even 200, really 2 to 300, you get a pretty good LPVO too. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, the one that Discovery Ops sent out to me is phenomenal. And
man, you said Holosun. I just reviewed a Holosun, their enclosed pistol sight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at the specifications to do the video. Well, most pistols and stuff are red dots are like 1,000 to 1,200 G shock rating. That Holosun has got a 3,000 G shock rating.
Huh.
Dude, you could slam that against the concrete wall. I mean, that's Holosun is top tier. I agree with Tin Man. Nobody. They are top tier, bro. You got Holosun. You could drop to the gates of hell with a Holosun.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep. I think there's some companies chasing them up the ladder, because I mean, years ago they were just a cheap Chinese company too.
Right.
And they're climbing up, and I think there's some companies behind them really trying to achieve that as well.
Well, Holosun is actually an LED emitter company.
Okay.
Their parent company is like the biggest LED emitter company in the world. They and the most advanced. They actually have technology first before any of the top name brands because they're developing it all now. It's like a massive international company for all things LED. The owner of Gideon was explaining all this to Ian as well. And that is a great video, people. If you're interested in this stuff, go watch Ian McCollum's interviews with the guy from Gideon Optics. They were really, really informative. But that's why they had circle reticle pistol dots and shake awake and all this. They were like the first people to pioneer all this stuff because they're like the leader in the industry with LED and all that stuff. So like that's why Trijicon and Aimpoint had to wait before they could even start introducing that stuff, for patents or whatever.
I did not know that. I'll have to watch that video. I haven't seen that.
It's a good video. And I encourage you guys to watch it because I probably screwed up the details, but it's it's amazing how good Chinese stuff has gotten. Do you prep as well, or you just basically review or?
No, I prep for my area, right? So I kind of live in the suburbs of Houston.
So you'll be defending your cul-de-sac.
Yes. Pretty much. I make friends with my neighbors. I have some like-minded people around me. So if I need something from them, if they need something from me, but no, I do prep. I mostly kind of prep for like hurricane and weather-related incidents.
As we just saw, you're on your own for about a week.
Oof.
Yep. I mean, this is a lesson people forgot after Katrina. Same thing. You're on your own for about a week before the feds really get in there.
Yep. And they're from what I've seen, they're still not in there.
They're more in there. They've been wiping out supply depots with Chinook helicopters now. There's a lot of
no, I saw that. That's crazy.
But you could fit a bus inside a Chinook. They've got some downdraft, so
yeah.
It's like almost hurricane force winds being underneath one of them things. But you're on your own, and in a situation like that, to me, that's like the most realistic scenario that as a citizen should be worried about. It's like the LA riots, Hurricane Katrina, Hurricane Helene. Will your equipment stand up to that? And if it's IPX7 with 1,000 to 1,200 G shock rating, yes, you're good to go with that stuff. So
yep,
that's all across the board. Like Chinese generators, Chinese solar power banks, and all it. It's all gotten so good. It's scary.
It is. They are the best at reverse engineering and making a pretty damn
I mean,
decent product.
they've gotten to the point where they're surpassing us in a lot of fields. Like we'll be like I was just telling you, Aimpoint and Trijicon had to reverse engineer their stuff.
Right.
So like they have the biggest Navy in the world now. Their fighter pilots get more flight hours than U.S. Air Force pilots. So, yeah,
that's a scary thought.
Yeah, it is a scary thought.
Well, they also make the majority of the pharmaceuticals.
Right. I was just, I just did this EMP live video, and so I was doing a little bit of research for the video, and so there's 3 types of EMP field: EMP or E1, E2, and E3. E1 is what's going to affect your portable devices and your vehicles and stuff. That's like super fast acting. And then E2 is most similar to lightning, but much more powerful. And then E3 is like a long wave, slow burn kind of EMP. And that's what's going to wreck the infrastructure. So they got these big transformer stations. There's like 7,000 of them in America or something like that. Well, there is in normal times, peacetime right now, there is a 3-year back order for those transformer stations.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So if there's an EMP, and the EMP3, the E3 is what takes them out, because it's a long, slow. The longer the wire you're attached to, or the antenna, or the circuit, the more heat goes into the system from an E3 long wave burst. So all these transformer stations are extremely vulnerable to that. So there's about 7,000 of them in America. And there's a 3-year back order in time of peace for these things. You order it and you'll get it in 3 years. So if a significant EMP happened, you're looking at 3, 4, 5,000 of them going out at once. They're all made overseas. They don't make any of them here. And in time of peace, it takes 3 years to get one. So in a serious EMP event, we're talking years and years and years with no power.
Yep. Luckily, I grew up in the woods of Wyoming, so I am somewhat familiar with roughing it.
How did you get from Wyoming to Houston?
Oh, that's a long story.
Why haven't you gone back yet?
What's that? Oh, well, there's not a whole lot of economy in Wyoming. So you have oil and gas, which I pretty much know nothing about, and you have agriculture, which means unless you own the ranch or farm, you're going to bust your ass for kind of minimal pay. And then you have tourism, but that's only about 4 months out of the year. So I would love to go back there. That's the plan in the next 4 to 5 years. My wife and I want to move up there and open a bed and breakfast, kind of on the tourism routes to Yellowstone. You stay out of the expensive areas. It's actually pretty reasonable to buy property and live there. So we're looking into that. But how far are you from Houston?
Because I know there are parts of Houston that are like really, really bad.
There are. I'm north of Houston about, I don't know, 18 miles or so. Houston is like most major cities, it's pocketed. So you know what areas to avoid. The problem is now with the bail reform here.
Well, criminals drive too.
They do. It used to be kind of contained to the areas you knew to avoid, and now it's kind of spilling out into the other areas.
Mm-hmm.
And well, my advice is if you live in any major city, you can carry in. You should be carrying everywhere you go.
You should carry no matter where you are at all times.
100%. 100%. But yeah,
you could be in a little church in the country and have it shot up.
Yep.
You could get robbed anywhere. A cougar might decide to jump on you and maul you, no matter where. I only carry when I'm awake.
Yep. Yes, nobody. Harris County in general, and unfortunately, I live in Harris County. I'm somewhat vested here for the next little bit, but Harris County is mismanaged.
Well, I mean, there's got to be bars in Wyoming, right?
Oh, sure. Yeah, there are.
Let me tell you a
Um,
story. When I lived in Hawaii for a little over a year, and I was in Hawaii, and I had a plumber come over. So he was like, had a Brooklyn accent and all that. And I'm like, how'd you end up in Hawaii? He said, well, I was a plumber in Brooklyn, and one day I woke up and realized I could be a plumber in Hawaii. You're a bartender in Houston. You could be a bartender in Wyoming or Hawaii tomorrow.
yes, I'll pass on Hawaii, but yes, that is true. Like I said, so Wyoming is very seasonal. So in the winter, nobody goes there unless you are in Jackson Hole or Cody, where the ski resorts are. Nobody goes there in the winter. So you have to make all your money in the summer and kind of squirrel that away for winter. I make really good money here, so I'm trying to squirrel it away now so that I can do that later.
Okay.
But no, I don't want to be in Harris County much longer. It's a mismanaged county, a lot of corruption.
That's a nice way of saying they're deliberately destroying it.
100% they're delivery. Yeah, no, 100%. It's our former mayor, the county judge, which if I know outside of Texas, I don't think you have county judges, but she's basically like the mayor of the county. She spent a couple months in a mental institution last year and
Nice.
keeps disappearing to campaign for Kamala Harris.
Oh, nice.
They just raised Harris County taxes by 9.82% through a loophole because of the hurricane that hit here a couple months ago. They were able to raise that without a vote from the citizens.
Well, Democrats would have voted for it anyway.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so taxes here going up. Yeah, county magistrate. Correct, nobody. Taxes here going up by 9.82%. So my time here,
property taxes or which tax?
Yeah, property taxes. So
That's
they used
a lot.
No, it's a ton. So I have homestead exemption, and that caps it at 10% per year.
That's still a lot.
And they're going to raise it by another 9.82% or whatever.
I think I pay like 5% here.
Yeah. Yeah. It's nuts. So now my time here is limited. Definitely.
How did you end up there to begin with?
My mom lived here. I moved here my last year of high school. I had a falling out with my father. I moved here.
Is he still in Wyoming? He's still in Wyoming?
Yeah, he is. He is. We had a horse ranch there, so I grew up on a horse ranch, and I moved here, which is a totally different experience. And my mom retired a year later and moved to Arizona, and I'm still here for whatever reason. I lived
in a horse ranch in Hawaii.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was awesome. Don't knock it, bro. Big Island, Hawaii is the nicest place I've ever seen in my life.
Politics are a little weird for me there.
There's 11 of the 13 climates on Earth on Big Island in Hawaii.
Yep.
Yeah, it's very left wing, but it's like the old school hippie left wing.
It's a different breed of Democrats now. I will say that.
What's that?
It's a different breed of Democrats now.
Oh yeah. Oh.
I mean, JFK would not have recognized what's going on now.
He would be a hardcore Republican now.
Yes, he would. Yep. It's pretty crazy. So back to that. No, I do a fair amount of prepping for what normal weather. So when the hurricane hit here a couple months ago, no power for 6 days, blew down about 90 feet of fence, took some shingles off the house, broke a window, that kind of stuff. So I prep for that, but I also prep for, well, what may come. So I prep out for about 6 months. I try to keep 6 months of food. I have my mirror safety mask with a couple different filters. I do my best to be prepared for civil unrest or grid down, EMP, whatever. I think you do a little more prepping than I do, but I don't do as much content on the prepping as I should,
Right.
and I may
Well,
move more
I'm a
towards that.
homesteader, so that's basically a entire prepping lifestyle.
Correct. I may do more of it coming up because, as you know, the gun content is not favorable to YouTube. So,
I wish
you
some
know,
competitor would show up, but
I think so. Elon's working on long form content on
yeah, that'd
X,
be great.
and if he does that, I'll go exclusively there. So I am on X for. It looks like it's all your people in here right now. So I am on X. If you want to follow me on there, if you're on there,
What's your name
same
on X?
untactical Texan at untactical Texan. So
I have never had a Twitter account.
I
Never
I
had a
did it.
Facebook account.
I had a Facebook like 10 years ago. I shut it off when people from high school started finding me, and I'm like, I didn't like you in high school. Why the
Right.
hell am I? Um, I started a Twitter or X account when Elon bought it. I just figured, okay, it's going to change, and it has.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah, but
and
what
and
does he care? It's his plaything.
yeah, so I got a good group on there actually. Some content creators. I I do some live shows over there. I joined some live shows over there, and I've met some good people over there. So I'm happy on that. I'm on there.
Okay,
It
cool. My wife is on there all the time. She rampages through the political commentary over there.
Yeah. Yep. There's
Yeah.
plenty of that. Plenty of that.
Yeah.
What happened to your wife's gardening channel?
Oh, most YouTubers they make 3 or 4 videos and that's it.
Yep.
My
Gotcha.
daughter has a small one for cats, and I keep telling her put up 1 video a week. But she's 11. I said by the time you're 18, you won't ever have to work a day in your life.
Right.
It's true.
Yeah, for sure. No, for animal videos get a ton of views.
And a
That
7-year head start.
yep,
She
100%.
probably have quarter million subscribers by the time she graduates high school.
Yep.
You
I
know?
mean, I started this by accident, and somehow 2,600 people are subscribed to me for whatever reason.
Right.
So
Is that where you're at now? 2,600.
I'm at like 20. The hell's my phone? I'm at 25 and something. 2573. But I've been slacking.
I think you doubled since I met you. You were in the 12s or something, right?
So that's what's funny is I monetized before you, but then you blew past me
Right.
like a ton, and it's because I slacked off. And
Right.
to your point, I stopped doing shorts, and I just wasn't putting out content
I got
consistently.
50 subscribers yesterday.
Yeah,
Awesome. Yeah, I wish I could do that every day, but
yeah,
I average like 550 a month. So
okay. That's
my goal is to hit 10,000. I've always said when I hit 10,000, I'm a real YouTuber.
where are you at right now?
87 and change.
Jesus,
So my
blew
goal
by
is
me
to hit
quick.
10 by the end of the year.
You blew by me quick.
Well, this is what I do. So
Yeah.
you,
No,
you
I get
put,
it. I mean,
you put 1% of your energy into it. I'm putting like 60%. So
no, I yeah, that 100%.
yeah.
I could
I'm not
put
growing
more
that
in.
fast. Like you ever heard of the channel Firearm Blog?
Yeah, of course.
I know. I used to way back in the day. I posted on their channel before they even did YouTube, and I knew all the moderators and all that. James Reeves and all them. Like I knew all them guys and Hop. Well, he started a YouTube channel around the same time that I started posting videos. He's over 250,000 now. So in the same time it took me to get to 8,700. So
Yep.
I'm climbing the ladder slowly, but some people rocket up that ladder. I guess having TFB attached your name don't hurt, but he's got
No,
a
it doesn't
following,
hurt.
he's got a vibe, and people love him.
Yeah. Yeah. Like a human praying mantis. I like him. No,
Thank you very much, nobody.
Oh, thanks, nobody. Yeah, I'm gonna dive back in it a little more. I've recently got just a little push. I've had some actually some folks on Twitter or X kind of pushing me to make more content, so I'm back on it
That's cool.
and get some stuff up. And I've had a couple products that I've been sitting on for a while, so those are coming out soon. And I appreciate the companies being patient with me. But yeah, no, I need to do more.
I
I
try to
have
get
to,
everything out within about 3 weeks, 4 weeks. That's
yeah,
like my average. But I'm doing a lot of videos, so
yeah. No, you post a lot.
right.
Um, if I post once or twice a week, I'm doing good. But I can do better. It's on me. It's I don't work that much. It's a time management thing. You
Right.
know,
Well,
it's
50 hours a
it's
week's a lot. That's a lot of, you know, I'd be coming home going to bed. I'm an old
it's
man.
a
So,
yeah. Well, I am too. I'm not far behind you. I'm 50, so
yeah,
it's a balance of family and what you're willing to do on YouTube and whatnot. So
right. But yeah, so we got one of the guys in the chat group meeting you're in is directly in the center of the path of the hurricane that's about to hit Florida.
oh man,
I'm like, "You're
that's a
leaving?" He's like, "Nope, I'm staying and I'm live streaming."
yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, that's a
Okay,
monster. That
okay,
hurricane
Florida
is a
man.
monster,
Yep,
right?
we're all old men, nobody.
Yep. So, have you ever in your life seen a hurricane travel from the Texas side of the Gulf to Florida?
Well, when I was probably about, I don't know, 15 years ago, we had Hurricane Sandy that went up the entire eastern seaboard all the way up to New York. So
No, I remember that.
yeah, so that
I,
one, if that can happen, pretty much anything can happen,
I've never seen one travel from the Texas side of the Gulf to Florida.
right?
I've never seen that happen.
And that's what's
If it's
about to happen, right?
yeah, that's what's about to happen. So if it's on the Texas coast, typically it will come ashore either in Mexico or lower Texas or whatever. I've
Right.
never seen it go all the way across the Gulf to
And
the
that was
other
a
side.
Category 5, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
it's weird.
does Houston ever get hit with hurricanes? Or you two for you?
Oh no, we get hit with hurricanes.
Right.
So yeah, I just had one here like 2 months ago. So it
When I
happens.
first when I first moved, we get tornadoes here. This is
Yeah,
like
we
tornado
get them
first.
here too.
And when I first moved here, there was a big tornado. It killed like 150 people or something. It's like the biggest one they've had here in forever. And people are like, "You must be scared moving here when we just had this big tornado." I'm like, "Psst, last year I was in Philly, there was 550 murders. Yeah. Our
Yeah.
hood rats are 4 times more dangerous than your tornadoes, and they never take a break."
Yep. No, 100%. Yeah. No, we get hurricanes here pretty often, tropical storms, we get tornadoes. Um, so in the last 2 months, I've been without power for 4 days and 6 days.
Wow.
So, I mean, I have a generator. I'm prepared for that. So,
Yeah,
it's
I would still want to get into some solar. Once I hit 10,000, I'm going to start hitting up the solar companies.
yep.
You know what I mean? Because I would love to get some free solar equipment.
Oh, 100%.
But
So,
like you said, they reach out to you. So I'm hoping one of them just reaches out to me. Like I
I
got
get
a big giant gazebo out in my yard right now that and that survived the hurricane last week. Like we're farther north than where all the major destruction was, but we still had like 3 straight days of heavy rain, and the winds did get up to over 50 miles an hour here.
yeah.
And like I had branches all over on my homestead down. But they sent me this pop up gazebo, man. I went out the day after the real big windstorm, and it was like all kind of semi collapsed. I'm like, it got ruined. But I went out and they got like these little pull things that you pull out, and the whole thing just popped right back up. I'm like, wow, that is
Hmm,
impressive.
that is impressive.
Yeah. So I was very happy with that because but I like reviewing tents. That's a good thing you could do. Outdoor equipment and camping gear and stuff. YouTube has
Yeah.
no problem when they'll push your stuff. I've done a lot of work for Alps Outdoors and mountaineering and
So
gear for me.
they never responded to me. I reached out to them. I'm an affiliate of them,
Right.
but they never responded. So,
Uh,
um,
uh, I don't know. It's weird. It depends on the direction the wind's blowing, I guess.
yeah, no, it does. So there's a Iron Infidel
Yeah,
reached out
they're
to
supposed
me.
to be sending me a flask. They've been telling me that for 2 months.
Oh, so they reached out to me a couple weeks ago and said, "Hey, we'd love for you to review one of our products." And I looked at their products and I'm like, well, I walk a little bit and I'm pretty active, but I'm not a fitness, guy. I'm not at the gym every week or anything. I mean, I pick 170-pound kegs up at work, but that doesn't make me a gym rat.
Right.
And they said, well, we'll send out one of our water bottles. I'm like, okay. So I got it, and the sleeve that it comes in is honestly, it's pretty badass. But
Yeah, I'm
I'm
still waiting for mine.
reach back out to him.
Yeah. They emailed me again last week and said that I slipped through the cracks or something. Like, we're so sorry. I'm like, whatever. Just send it to me and I'll make a video.
Yeah, no, I'll be posting up the review on that tomorrow.
But at 10,000 when you start getting sponsors. So I've been told that like NordVPN is supposed to pay pretty good. So I reached out to like a bunch of the companies that you see everybody pimping.
Yeah,
And I had like 1,500 subscribers. And like, get back to us when you're at 10,000. So I'll be pushing that NordVPN pretty soon, I hope.
we're gonna see some SDI commercials on your channel pretty
Hey,
soon.
whatever. I mean, it must be a decent company, SDI, because they've been around for a long time. So
Yeah, they've been around for a long time, and almost every damn large YouTube account is pushing their commercials. So
right.
yeah.
I suspect that they're probably like any other school. You can go get a degree, and when you get out, if you lay on your sofa, you'll bad talk it, and if you get out and you're a motivated go getter, you'll do something with it.
That's probably true. That's probably pretty accurate.
It's the same with the military. You go in and you're a slug, you're going to get out and talk bad about it. You go in and they send you to airborne and ranger school, you're probably going to love it. So, and then you'll tell everybody how great it is. So,
Yeah.
it's like anything else in life. It is what you make of it.
100%. And I'll say that about YouTube is I have not made it what it could be.
Right.
So, yeah. Time to get on it. Time to suck it up.
It is what it is. So what else you got going on over there?
Oh,
do you do a lot of shooting?
Oh, I try to go every week, but it ends up being every other week for the most part.
That's the best part about being a homesteader. I stumble out my back door and pew pew.
Yeah,
it's great. You've probably seen some of my videos. I got a pretty good sized lake out back, and I shoot across the lake. It's great.
Yep.
It's a lifelong dream.
I miss that. Growing up in Wyoming, we had a range on the property, and I'd go out there in single action revolvers. I'd quick draw from the hip all day long and shoot steel targets.
Right.
Here I have to use public ranges, which are sketchy at best.
Well, especially in your area.
Yes.
I lived in the Pocono Mountains. I lived in Philly most of my life. Then we bought a house up in the mountains because that had always been my dream. And then COVID hit, and it was 75 miles from New York City. And we started getting all kinds of people coming from the Brooklyn and the Bronx. And then they stopped enforcing the bail and all that and letting everybody out of jail. And they had that massive crime spike, and everybody flooded from New York. Next thing you know, we had pride flags running down Main Street. We're seeing dudes skipping, walking down the street, holding hands. Yeah, I'm a very conservative fellow. And my daughter driving around in my Camaro. My daughter's like 9 at the time or 8. She's like, "Daddy, why are them men holding hands? Time to move."
Yep. So
we had a public range 5 minutes from my house. That's where I was going with that.
Yeah,
and it was the same thing, dude. Like, you're going down range, changing your targets. They're waving their guns all over the place. You know what I mean? Like,
yep. So I'm a member of a nonprofit range, and I'm an RSO there, and it's a little better.
Okay.
They kind of vet who gets in there, and you have an orientation where they talk about, all the safety of the range. And there's a lot of rules, a little bit of a FUD range, but not too much.
Right.
So I deal with it, and I have the ability to go there. They have 2 ranges. One of them's like an hour and a half from me, but worth the drive to not get shot.
Right. Nothing beats your own land, man.
I'm telling you, I believe that. Oh, I know that. I've lived
Yeah,
that.
right.
But
I've made actual war movies out of my in my backyard. It's great.
yeah, so I want to talk to you a little bit about that. So I like the short movies.
Oh, thank you, man.
We need to find a way to push those out and get you more views on them.
Well, I guess if I keep doing them, unfortunately, I would like to do just like that, period.
Yeah.
But there's no money in that yet. So, and it's expensive. Making those are expensive.
Yeah.
Well, the one I did yesterday or the day before actually was not. But the ones with like the live fire video I made, we fired like 1,000 rounds,
Yeah.
and that was expensive to make. But and then the other problem is having people to use to do the videos with you, because people will be like, "Oh, I'd love to be in one of your videos," and then you call them up and they're like, "Oh, I got to go here or there today," and it's hard. But yeah, I really enjoy the short videos. If you were in my area, I'd make a ton of them with you.
Yeah. No, it's
We were going
we're
to
a
do a
little.
collab with the Mira ones, and you never made yours.
I know. I know. I got wrapped up with a bunch of other stuff, and
Right.
you know,
Yeah,
shit
that's what I was
happens.
just saying here. I tell
Yep.
them, "Hey, come over." "Oh yeah, I'd love to." And then you call them, they're like, "Oh, I got to do this today. I got to do."
I may just have to drive to you at some point.
Well, I'm here now. Where are you going
So
to move? Back to Wyoming? You said
that's the plan.
you liked
That
it a
is the
lot
plan.
there, or is it just because that's where you're from? Do
No,
you have roots
I
there still?
actually. What's that?
Do you still have roots there?
I do somewhat. It's a beautiful state,
Hmm.
and the beautiful thing about it is there's not a lot of people.
Grizzly bears. Got the grizzly bears
Uh,
up there, right? Right.
yeah, grizzly bears,
And
but
wolves. I like that.
wolf. Well, they reintroduced the wolves. Yeah. Um, no, there's less people in Wyoming than there is in a suburb of Houston,
Wow. See, I
and
like that.
that actually interests me. I'm a conservative kind of fellow as well, and
That'd
the
be great.
people,
Nobody, I'd love to have you over, bro.
yeah, the people here are, there's actually more. I'm surprised. So the
Well,
bar I,
before Katrina, Houston was a very conservative area.
it was, yes,
Katrina
uh,
destroyed that city.
yes, it did. Yep. Uh, Bad politicians, corruption, Katrina over the last 20 years or so have destroyed this city
It's
and the
funny.
state, honestly. I
It's
mean,
funny how when you import a bunch of people from the third world, it turns your government into the third world. Isn't that funny how that works?
yeah, it's funny. It is funny how that works.
Mm.
The state is, so the rural areas are still very conservative, but the major cities in Texas are very, very blue. I
Right.
mean, Houston voted for Beto.
Well, you can blame Abbott for that to a large extent because he went out of his way to get companies in blue states to move to Texas.
Mhm.
And he thought he was being slick and smart. And I was telling everybody at the time, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. You people are
Well,
crazy. The last thing you want is Californians moving to your state.
yeah,
That's like having a cobra make a nest under your front steps.
that's why we call him Greg Grabbit,
Right there, you go.
because it's where the money is. He's gonna go.
Yep.
Oh, Hot
Like
Wheels.
Austin might as well be San Francisco.
Oh no, it totally is. I haven't been to Austin in 20 years. It's two and a
Right.
half hours. Well, it's about 2 hours away from me. I have
Yeah.
not been there in 20 years.
Like I was in San Francisco about, I don't know, 15 years ago. About 15 years ago. I couldn't believe it, dude. I couldn't believe like this is 15 years ago. There were bums everywhere, like everywhere.
All right, see you, nobody.
And take it easy, brother. Have a good one, man. He is an interesting character. He's in our chat.
Yeah, I know who he is now.
Yeah.
Yep.
But dude, I was hanging out with this chick. We went to a little like corner greasy spoon restaurant, and I ordered a cheeseburger and a Coke. They brought me a half a hamburger. half. And a can of Coke, it was like $18. And this was 15 years ago. I made a big ruckus. My friend was all embarrassed. I'm like, I'm from Philly, man. First of all, I don't give an F. Second of all, this same meal in Philly, I got a whole burger and the Coke for like $5. You know what I mean? And you walk out of the place, and there's freaking just bums everywhere, dude.
Yeah.
Like, everywhere. I couldn't believe it.
So here they're fairly localized to certain areas, but I have noticed over the last year or so that we're getting more of the migrant homeless,
Right.
and you can see it. They're sleeping under awnings of businesses and things like that. And on my drive through to the city, it's a little different than it was 5 years ago,
You
3
could
years
die
ago.
at any moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I don't go anywhere unarmed.
Yeah.
I don't go to the post office.
I'm wearing a gun right now. I mean, when I say I only carry when I'm awake, I mean it.
Yeah. No, I 100%. Mine is like 2 feet from me.
Right.
I don't go anywhere I can't carry.
Right. Yeah.
I
Same. Except
there
for the post office, I'll leave it in
no,
the car.
so here I have Ace Hardware that has a postal substation in it,
Oh, that's nice.
and you don't
I
the
wonder what
rules
the
don't.
law is on that.
So you can carry in there
Right.
because it's not postal, it's not government property.
Right. Okay.
So I mail everything from there. I
Yeah,
don't go
that's
to the
cool.
I don't go to the post office.
The
100% I carry everywhere I go.
little town I'm by, the closest town to me, the only business in the entire town is the post office.
Hmm.
That's it. There's a post office and literally nothing else. So yeah, I'm way out in the country. I
Yep.
love it, man. I love it here.
Well, I'm gonna have to
The
drive
bugs
there
are
at
a
some
bit much,
point.
but beyond the bugs, I love it here.
So, are you gonna do Palmetto State gathering?
I was at that last year.
You gonna do it this year?
I don't know. It was like a 7-hour drive. I already did it.
Okay.
So my godson drove down from Philly and we went together. So I got a couple buddies here. They're like, everybody's gun nuts here. And I was trying to get them all to go. They're like, oh, it's too far. I'm like, man, come on.
Yeah.
But, it's too far to just drive. Like I went to SHOT Show. I drove to SHOT Show alone.
No, I know. I remember that. Yeah, you were telling me.
That sucked. And then I got there and the guy lost all the footage. My cameraman that I hired. I'd probably be twice the size of the channel I am right now.
Yep.
Like I got 3 videos from SHOT Show that I had happen to film on my cell phone by myself, and the one got 39,000 views. So we would have had like 40 or 50 videos, man. I got interviewed all the gun. I had video on all the new guns, all the really hot stuff. I interviewed like the top guys and all that. He didn't record a single video. And he was Asian. How are you going to be an Asian and you can't work a camera, dude? It's like being an Irishman and not being able to drink.
Cheers to that.
Yeah, crazy.
No, that's nuts. I may do SHOT Show this year. I mean,
you should. I mean, you're so close. I invited you to that last year, didn't I?
No, you did. And so my work, I am the only employee.
That sounds like your work problem.
Literally, I am the only employee.
Yeah, but that's your work problem.
No, yeah, I get it. But
I mean, they don't got a backup bartender. What if you get laryngitis?
Then I come
Isn't
to work.
There an owner? There's not an owner that can fill in some shifts?
So I split the shifts with one of the owners. And yes, I can take days off. I don't, because I'm working towards the goal of getting the hell out of Harris County and the hell out of Houston.
Well, I guarantee you, had you gone to SHOT Show with me last year, both our channels would be much, much bigger than they are now.
I believe that. So
It is
I
what it
may
is.
go. Hmm?
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. So I may try to go to Palmetto State
Well, if
gathering
you
this
go and
year.
you're coming through Kentucky, what are you going to drive?
I may.
Well,
I
that's all
probably
the way in
will.
South Carolina. I mean, that's a long drive for you.
Yeah, that is a long drive.
If you go and you want to stop by on the way and pick me up, I'll go with you.
Okay.
I mean it. I'm not
I
just
know. I
talking
believe
shit.
it. I
Like
believe it.
when I was going to SHOT Show, dude, I asked every single freaking person I knew. And everybody's always like, "Oh, you're so lucky. You're getting to do this." And, "Oh, I wish I could go to SHOT Show." And everybody had some excuse. Like even you.
Yeah.
Everybody,
Yeah.
you
That's
know,
correct.
so it's like, it is what it is. But if you're really gonna go and you want to pick me up on the way, because I'm probably pretty close. I'm probably like 100 miles out of your way. But if you're driving that far, what difference is that?
Yeah. Well, 100 miles is nothing.
Yeah, and then when we get back on the way back, we can make some content at my place.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
But yeah, I for the shorts for the guns that I shot at SHOT Show, I would bet you that I got 250,000 views on shorts.
Hmm. I
So
believe that.
like the long format interviews, really a couple hundred views here, they didn't do much, like 500-600.
Yeah.
But the shorts would get like 10, 12,000 views, So, and I shot probably 60 guns there. So I was doing short content for 2 months. And that alone got me, I'm sure I got 1,000 subscribers from going there.
Yeah. I need to get back on the shorts.
You might as well. I'll be honest with you. If you're trying to grow, to anyone, I don't even know if anyone's out there anymore, but to anyone listening, if you are trying to grow a YouTube channel, don't even freaking bother with long content stuff. I mean, I get all my subscribers from shorts.
I'm going to take a look here and see how many people we have.
Yeah, I tried to get Prepping with Sarge to come on because he's got a pretty popular. He does live streams all the time. Really, to get followers on live streams, you have to be a live streamer, is what I've noticed. So now, if you keep doing it, you'll build up a live stream following. They'll come just to see you. Doesn't even matter who your guest is.
Yeah. We have 4 watching.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Hi, folks. I don't really ever do live streams, so I don't have a live stream following per se. So
I don't either. This is something I went on a podcast or a live stream from a podcaster that I know from Twitter or from X, and I enjoyed it. So I decided, maybe I'll do a live show every week.
right.
And here we
You'll
are.
probably be talking to yourself for the first few, but once you get the following, what's you're known for, you'll get people.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just figured I'd give it a try. And
When is that? March? The Palmetto State? Or are they doing another one this summer?
I think it's February.
February. Yeah,
I think it's in February.
Yeah, if you go, dude, I will definitely go. It costs nothing. There's a campground.
Yeah, that's what that. Yeah, I
15
saw that.
minutes away. It was free.
Yeah.
So we went and camped, and I got content from that too.
Yep.
And I got all this, dude. I got tons of camping equipment. So you literally can jump in your car and bring nothing. I have everything we need.
All right. Might have to do that.
Yeah. But that was a good time.
SHOT Show. So Viridian kept reaching out to me saying, "Come to SHOT Show. Come to SHOT Show."
Well, they weren't going to pay you, right?
Huh?
Were they going to?
They weren't going to pay. No. They just wanted me to hang out at their booth, but they weren't going to pay. So
right. You would think Viridian would be able to get some big people. That's a big.
I would think. I don't know why the hell they were talking to me, but
their product line is pretty stagnant, to be honest with you. I had some of their stuff 15 years ago. They're still selling it. They've never updated to this day.
Yeah. Yep. They've come out with a few new products. The
dots.
The RX-44, the closed emitter dot.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah, that
have one
seems
of
nice.
those.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, it's good. I have one on the on a bullpup shotgun
yeah.
along with that. Uh,
You still never made a video of that all pimped out.
no, I know.
Telling you, son,
I know. I'm wasting my
you're
life
wasting
here.
your potential.
Yeah, no. Actually, I was going to work on that tomorrow.
You don't even got to shoot it. Just do videos of it laying on the lawn out in front of your house. Walk around and film it. You'll get
No,
thousands of views.
I have shooting footage of it. That's the thing.
And if you put that shooting footage up as shorts, you'll get like 10, 12,000 views. People love
Yeah.
shorts.
God, I need
And
to
you'll
do
get
that.
subscribers. Like, I'll get like 10, even a stupid one, I'll get like 5 subscribers off a short. Then I have shorts that I've gotten 40, 50 subscribers from.
I need to
And
motivate
it takes
myself.
no time at all.
Motivate myself.
I mean, a short takes no time.
Yep. No,
You
you're
can
right.
lay. How many guns do you own?
Oh, fuck. I don't know. 30?
That's 30 shorts right there. You're set for the next month. Lay it on your kitchen table. Walk around it for literally 15 seconds. Don't make it too long. People don't like it. They got no attention span. Lay your 1911 on the table. Walk around it. Go to the YouTube music library. Pick out a cool sounding song. You'll get thousands of views. Do that every day for a month. By the end of that month, you'll have another 500 subscribers.
Yep.
For no effort whatsoever.
Yep. All right. You got the stage for a second.
Okay. I don't know if I'll be sitting here talking to myself. Is there anyone in the chat?
There's 4 people in there.
Yeah, they may not actually be, they could all be out wandering the universe. Looks like everybody's wandering the universe. Hey, you're back. No, you're not back.
Iron Infidel. All right, sorry about that.
Yeah,
Too
no
much
worries,
water.
dude.
Too much water.
No worries. I think we just got a couple phantoms that logged on just to support us that aren't actually paying any attention or whatever. So but that's all right.
Yeah, we only have 2.
Me and you, I think.
Yeah, I think so. So let's talk about this hurricane on the East Coast and wrap it back into prepping. How do you prep for something like that?
I think I don't prep for anything in particular. I just prep. And I don't even know if I would call myself a prepper. I just believe in being self-sufficient. So we have probably 4 or 5 months worth of canned food. We have about 3,000 square feet of garden box, like fenced in, which is enough to largely feed the family for a couple months out of the year if we wanted to just eat corn and stuff like that. We have a rabbitry, and we have 4 female rabbits now we're finally getting that fully up to speed. My wife just butchered her first rabbit, and so we're getting that up to speed. Once you get 4 rabbits going, man, you get enough bunnies that you can actually live off them. And if you got some vegetables, so we'll be good there. But we like I have some of the Sawyer filters. In fact, Survivor Filter just sent me a whole house filter to do a video on.
Okay.
But I have those Sawyer minis. They filter 100,000 gallons before they go in.
Yep.
So I have like 3 of those, a bunch of life straws, and I have a lake, and my lake has fish in it. My lake actually used to be a big coal mine back there. Closed down like 50 years ago, and it closed down like 50 years ago. But it was one of them big stripper pit, and it filled up with water. So there's like fish and all kinds of stuff in there now. I don't know how they got there originally, but somebody must have docked it a long time ago and then just left it, because I got turtles, I got fish, so I'm pretty self-sufficient.
Okay. All right.
I got a generator. I really would like to get solar.
Yeah. Yeah, that is, I think that's the future. So I have a generator, dual fuel. I run it off propane because all the gas here in this county is mandated ethanol.
Oh, I hate it.
And it will gum your generator up super quick.
Yeah.
So I use propane. And
the problem with propane is if SHTF does ever happen, you ain't getting more of that.
No, 100%. That's the problem.
So that's what I like about solar. I hate to say it, but this country is turning into a third world shithole, and our grid is decades out of date, and it's decrepit. And I don't know if you follow international events at all.
I do.
With this invasion on the border that we've been dealing with,
they
think 200,000 Chinese have come across, and
military aged.
A lot of the analysts say that they're actually all Chinese military, and that they're just waiting. Like there's a law on Chinese. There's a Chinese law that if you're a Chinese citizen, whatever country you're in, you're expected to spy. That's like literally Chinese law. And if you don't do it, they'll F your family up back in China, So you pretty much.
I would believe that.
But they bought all these airports and all these big, huge properties next to all the military bases. Most people think military bases are secure, dude. You get like a few dudes at the gate, and it's civilian police. Like, that's it, man. Nobody has guns on a military. Like I could take you and 6 other guys. We could roll into any military base in the country. Not saying I want to do that. I'm a good guy. I'm a veteran. I would never do that. But I'm saying 6 well-trained dudes could roll the front gate on any military base in America. And it would take hours to get a force together to respond to, if you had 6 guys that knew what they were doing. Now, we're talking 100,000.
Right.
They could hit every military base in America at the same time.
Yeah.
And so there's no reinforcements, it'd be mainly civilian police they'd be fighting.
Yep. So there was a company here that used to make the armor plates for Humvees. And they sold the property, and it is owned by a Chinese company. And apparently there are a ton of Chinese nationals living in that compound. And that's
nobody knows what they're up to.
No. And that's I don't know, 30 minutes outside of Houston.
Yep. Think about the things they could overrun.
Oh, of course. It'd be absolute chaos. By the time anybody knows
people to China, they got over a billion pop. What is it, 1.5 billion or something?
Yeah.
If they lost 200,000 people on a strike in America, they wouldn't even care.
No, they don't.
They want Taiwan, and if Taiwan falls, the whole Western world is effed, because that's where all our microchips and shit come from Taiwan.
Right. The only good thing about Taiwan is there's a dam in China, and apparently,
The Three Gorges Dam.
yep, the missile system is pointed directly at that. So it would wipe out a good portion of China if that were to, happen. But the Chinese government doesn't care about their people.
Right.
So
They got plenty to spare.
yeah. Crazy. I'll say we're roughly the same age. I'll say that this is the craziest time I've ever seen. I would have never thought any of what has gone on in the last, I don't know, 5-6 years would have gone on.
Really, it's been since Obama, man.
Yeah. In my lifetime, I never would have thought people in the 80s didn't want to kill each other over political beliefs.
The Trump years blew my mind.
Yep.
Because they just showed just how utterly fake and corrupt everything. It showed that the press and the government are one entity.
Yep.
It's just
Do you remember when the news actually used to pretty much be the news?
Yeah, or were we just in the dark? Like the internet changed everything. Like I remember when I was a kid getting up and turning the TV channel. I remember when my dad got the first TV in the neighborhood with a remote control. My dad was the first person in the neighborhood had a VCR. I was like 8 or 9 or something like that. No, older than that. And all the kids from the whole neighborhood used to come over and watch Star Wars at my house. They couldn't believe that you could just sit there and watch a movie over and over whenever you wanted it.
Yeah. Yep. No, it's wild. It's wild. And I feel kind of old for it. But I miss the days when the news reporter reported the news.
Right.
I mean, they may have had a bias here and there, but they reported the actual facts that were going on. And I kind of miss that.
Well, because they always lied to an extent, but
they did. Not like now, though. Yeah. Now they're just making shit up.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
No, it is.
Thank God for YouTube. The best thing for YouTube is actually being able to get unfiltered news.
Yeah.
Thank God for Elon Musk, dude. Like Elon Musk literally saved free speech.
That's why I'm on X. I get news faster than any news outlet can. By the time they produce it, they cut it, they edit it. I'm getting that news real time from investigative journalists.
That's what's great about our chat group, man. Those people, there's enough guys in there like ding, 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 ding.
Yep. No, 100%. That is why I'm on there, and I've met some great people on there. But what you drinking there?
I'm a teetotaler. I don't drink or smoke or nothing.
I knew that.
So just a glass of iced tea.
Okay. All right.
So what made you decide to pick the South Carolina event to attend? Because that's the other side of the country from you.
They heavily invited me last year.
I met the co-founder last year. He's a cool dude.
Yeah, that's what you said. They sent me several messages about attending.
He's like 5'2". He is a little guy.
He's 2 inches taller than my wife.
There you go. Is that who you've been talking to the whole time?
Huh?
Is that who you've been talking to off screen the whole time?
Oh yeah. She was.
Well, tell her to come on camera.
She didn't want to do that.
There's no one else here but me.
We have 4 watchers. Yeah. Come on now.
Well, I don't know if anybody's actually watching the chat. Say something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, make a comment. I think they logged on to support me, and
I'm surprised that not more of my people are in here because
or any
the last couple I've done, I've got a couple of subs that have been with me for a long time, and they're pretty loyal.
Well, maybe they're just like, oh, that Freedom by Me guy, fuck him. He sucks.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Fucking Philly guy, fuck him.
So, what would you advise people to prep for if they're
Everything.
prepping?
Just a well-rounded plan. Don't focus on anything, and don't focus on everything. Just, you know, like the storm that you went in, that you had, the few blackouts you had, there are tremendous training opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
Like the military, everything is a training experience. It's a training possibility, opportunity. That's the word I'm looking for. It's a training opportunity. And when you see these disasters around the country, say, if that happened here, what would be my weaknesses? What would I need? And you know what? The big lesson takeaway from this big, huge hurricane we just had: have a boat, have a rowboat, because a lot of people died because the water went up over the roof level, and you're dead. So, if the storm starts, tether a boat to your roof, put it upside down so it doesn't fill with water, and when you're sitting on the roof ready to die, at least if you have a boat, you can float. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
That was my big takeaway. Unfortunately, I have a couple boats, so I was like, my wife was like, "Oh, this is horrible." I'm like, "Well, at least we learn from their mistakes, So, as they say, there's three kinds of men. There's men who learn from their own mistakes. There's men who learn from other people's mistakes, and there's men who never learn from any mistakes. So, I try to be the middle one.
Yep.
What did you take from it?
I follow a similar philosophy as you. I kind of prep for everything and anything. I don't prep for any particular situation, but depending on your area and what happens there, I try to be prepared for anything that I've seen here.
Right.
It's kind of funny. My mom called me a couple weeks, actually a couple months ago, and she's like, "Hey, I have this EMP shield for your car. Do you want me to buy you one?" And I was like, "No, Mom, it's good. Size 11s will carry me out of where I am. Like I don't need the car. I'd probably rather actually be on foot."
So your mom's a prepper.
She is a little bit, actually.
That's pretty awesome.
Yep. So I turned her on to, no, I didn't turn her on to it. She called me one night and she's like, "Hey, have you heard of Jace Medical?" And I'm like, "Yeah. I'm an affiliate if you want to use my links." And she's like, "Oh no, I already ordered stuff." So no, she's kind of in the she's in, I don't know. She's yeah, I guess she's a prepper. So I think Freedom by Me stepped away for a little bit. I appreciate everybody watching, all three of you. I'm sure there'll be more later, but this is a good conversation. This is a long time friend of mine on YouTube. I met him through YouTube maybe like a year ago or more. And he's a great guy, great YouTuber. So if you haven't subscribed to him, please do so. Check out his content, especially his short films. Very cool, very very cool. So, and if you're not subscribed to me and you're part of the Freedom by Me crowd, please hit me up. And you can also find me on X. Same name, Untactical Texan. So we're talking a little prepping, and I think it's a super important conversation considering what's gone on in the last, well, really a couple of months, because here in Houston, we had derecho, which apparently only happens in the Midwest, but it happened here. And my cat, sorry about that. it is a sideways tornado, I guess. But we had 100-mile-an-hour winds. And then a month later, we had a hurricane. And both storms took us down without power for the first one was like 4 days. The second one was like 6 days, 7 days, something like that. So I think it's important to prep for these things. Do you have a generator? Do you have fuel to run it off of? So I have a generator, a dual fuel, and I have about 4 to 5 days of propane for that generator. Now, if it goes longer than that, I'm going old school, but I've got plenty of supplies, and it's going to be a little hot as Texas gets, especially when the hurricanes roll through. Texas gets up to 100 degrees or whatever in August and even in September. So I'm prepared for that, but I have a portable AC, and I hooked that up to the generator. But if you don't have that, do you have enough stuff to survive? And my biggest problem is water. So Freedom by Me has a lake. He can filter that water. I don't have a lake, and I'm reliant on what I can fit in my house, which I am lacking storage for. Well, I think Freedom bailed out. Let's see if I can invite him back in. There you are.
Yeah, it kicked me backstage. I don't know what happened. It said I was there the whole time. It said you're backstage.
Huh, that's weird.
Yeah.
All right, so I was talking a little bit about prepping, and then
yeah, I heard you. I was here the whole time.
Okay, yeah. So water is my biggest problem. Now I have a couple. You can get them off Amazon. They are RV filters. They will filter water from a hose, a spigot, or whatever. And I have a Silcock, so if I need to get water from an urban area, those work pretty well. I do have Life Straws, and I have a inline filter. So, but water storage in my house, which is not like a huge house, that's the biggest problem I have. That's my weakness.
One thing with those Life Straws that a lot of people don't know, which is probably not relevant to you, if you use it and it has water in it and then it freezes, it breaks the internal filter. So if you live in a cold area, make sure that after you use it, did you hear what I said?
Yeah.
If you live in a cold area, after you use it, make sure it doesn't freeze. Put it in your pants or something.
Okay. That's good advice.
The element will break down.
Okay.
Then you'll think you're filtering your water, and you're really not. So one of them, the more you know things.
Yep. Hold on 1 second here.
Yep. Time to relax.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. I'm just chilling out now.
Yeah, you are.
Time to relax. I'm in my man cave.
You look comfortable.
I am.
Yeah, so that's the biggest problem. I think water storage. I keep about 50 gallons but that's
One
not going to
thing you
last
can
long.
do when you know a storm's incoming is if you have bathtubs, fill them up.
Oh yeah, 100%. You know that when you live in a hurricane prone area.
Right.
So
Not only that, your hot water heater is a storage tank.
yep, 100%.
So you probably
But
got at least another 40 gallons from that.
I'm thinking long term, if I'm without water for
Oh yeah.
3-4 months, I'm kind of so I have a couple rain barrels out back,
Mm-hmm.
and
You
I
have a
can
few of
filter.
those are great.
Yeah, I can filter that. So the crazy thing is, in the city of Houston, which I don't live, you cannot have a rain barrel.
Really?
Yep.
How would they know?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah,
No, in New Jersey, they tax your rainwater.
yeah. So in the city of Houston, you're not supposed to have a rain barrel. So I guess when they come to read the water meter, or I don't actually know. I'm outside the city, so
Right, they
it
look
doesn't
for one.
apply to me. But I have a couple rain barrels, so and that will get me a little bit further. But that is my one weakness is
Well, that
water.
depends on your climate. If you're in a wet climate, you can live off 2 rain barrels.
Yeah, no, you can. So
Well, isn't
Houston,
Houston by the Gulf?
yes. And normally it's a very wet climate. For the last couple of years, we've had some pretty good droughts,
Right.
and it's been kind of dry.
How far are you from the Gulf?
Oh, 100 miles,
Oh,
80
yeah, you're
miles.
not walking to the water.
No,
What's your
no.
closest lake?
The closest lake is Lake Houston, which actually feeds the city water.
And how
And
far is that?
I wouldn't drink that.
Well, if you got a filter,
Yeah, no, with a filter, yeah, 100%. But I
how
would
far
not
is
drink
that?
that on a typical. That's about, I don't know, maybe 25 miles.
Well, if you got a bicycle with a trailer, that's doable. That would be doable with a bicycle and a trailer.
Sorry, technical difficulties here. Hang on one sec.
That's okay.
All right, sorry about that.
That's okay.
Yeah, no. So there's the funny thing is, like a year ago, I got my wife into kind of the prepping mentality, and she said, "Go get a map of Texas. I want to outline the routes out of where we live."
Where would you go? Wyoming?
No, well, she just wanted to get to non-populated areas, so
Right.
she highlighted all the routes out of our area, which there's a couple national forests not too far from us.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, "Okay, here we go. Here's the routes." So she drew all over the map and marked it up. And yep.
Have you ever practiced?
So yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, shit. One sec.
Yep.
All right, sorry about that. My wife's not feeling well, so hey, range minded, what's up?
Oh, somebody logged in. Hey, buddy.
Yeah, range minded. It's a great follow. If you don't follow him, he's does a Second Amendment podcast. A lot of good content.
Invite
He's
him
got
in.
Huh?
Invite him
Yeah.
in.
Okay. Give me 1 sec here.
Just so you know, you're still muted.
Yeah, I'm just talking to myself.
Okay.
I'm trying to share this here.
So yeah, I highly recommend, if you've highlighted these routes. Is your wife still hanging there with you?
Yeah, she's all right.
Tell her that one day in the next month sometime, you're going to spring her out of the blue and you're going to pack up all your stuff in the car and ride one of them routes.
Yeah. That's so if you don't practice
It's
what
easy.
you prep for, that's a problem.
You got a tent and all that stuff?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So one day in the next 30 days, totally randomly, could be tomorrow or in 3 weeks, say, the world's come to an end. We got to leave right now. Timer, start a timer. See how
Yeah.
long it takes you to get your gear together. See how long it takes you to get the car out of the driveway. See how long, and you should do it at rush hour.
Oh, so I can tell you this, that a couple of hurricanes, this city, when there's an emergency, jams the fuck up.
And it's nothing like what it would be in a real.
Oh no, 100%. I had a roommate like 20 years ago. Hurricane rolled through. She got in her car and she's like, "I'm going to Austin." Why the hell you'd want to go there? I don't know, but that's where she was going. And she got in the car and I said, "Oh no, I'm staying here. I'm going to have a hurricane party, so
Right.
I'm going to invite everybody I know over and we're going to drink a little bit and whatever." About 12 hours later, she called me and she said, "Okay, I'm still in my car. I made it about 20 miles. I pissed in my dog bowl because her dog was in the car."
Right.
She said, "I had to piss in my dog bowl. I'm coming back." And I was like, "Yeah, come on back. I already
He's
boarded
probably
up all
back
the
in
damn
20 minutes.
windows." Yeah. No, the routes out of here clog the hell up, even when
That's
it's like
any city. Any city.
oh, yeah, like a category 1 hurricane. The routes out of this city will clog the hell up. You're not getting out of here.
Nope. That's any city.
I'm a more of a stay in. I'm not bugging out. I'm a bug inner.
Well, you know what another word for bugging out is? Refugee.
Yeah. Yep.
You don't want to be a refugee.
Nope. I specifically made friends with my neighbors, a couple of my neighbors who are like-minded. We have very similar views. We will support each other, and I'm bugging in. I'm not leaving. Now, if I leave, it'll be
If I leave, it's because there's no choice.
right. If I leave, it'll be a month after everybody else tried to leave.
See, like you're by Houston, you could have some massive chemical event.
Oh, sure. There's
And
a
if the
ton of
wind's
chemical
blowing the wrong
events
way,
here.
you're leaving now, you know?
Oh, 100%. That's why I have, a gas mask for both of us and a route out. But
what mask do you use?
I use the Mirror Safety.
Which one?
I have the CM6.
That's what I have. I had the 8. I got the 7 in now to review, and I like the 6 the best.
Yeah, I when they asked me, I picked the 6 because I felt it was the I felt it was the best option. Range says you got to build a team that you can trust. 100%.
Well, it depends on what the team is for and what we're trusting them with.
Well, yep, that is true.
And in a disaster, you can trust most people, but there's other kinds of events where you can't really trust anyone. So it depends what we're talking about. But
I live a gray man lifestyle. I don't like I carry a backpack. It could be a school backpack. It could be like I'm covered in tattoos, y'all. Right. So I could fit in at an Antifa rally, or I could fit in at a, who knows what. I can walk down the street and not be bothered. I don't put stickers on my car. I don't advertise what I do. I don't advertise my lifestyle. And that is for a reason. I don't want to stand out or be a target.
I've stood out my whole life. Now where I'm at now, no one would even care but the cows.
Mm-hmm.
There's another thing. It's called a porcupine man, and that's you look so dangerous that the lions don't even want to mess with you. Like I was a private investigator and a repossessor in Philly, and I worked all the ghettos, and I've rolled up at 3:00 in the morning in front of crack houses and taken the drug dealer's car in front of all his boys. And I've been surrounded by them. They're like, what do you they'll be like, man, what you think you're doing? I got all my boys here. And I'm like, now look at me. I'm here at 3:00 in the morning and I know you've got all your boys here and I'm still taking your car.
Yeah.
And then they're like, whoa. It's like, yeah. I'm not afraid of nothing, man. So
yeah, I agree.
People can sense that. Of course.
No, they can.
That was when I was a younger man, and I fought a lot growing up. So I was a pretty good fighter and all that. But at my age now, everyone like I should have bought stock in pepper spray companies. I pepper sprayed so many people.
So, yeah, for sure. So I worked at a bar in my early 20s and I was a bouncer. So I've been in my fair share of fights and I carry myself in a confident manner, we'll say. Right. So, and I'm covered in tattoos.
They don't. Generally, jackals don't want to mess with lions typically.
So funny story. I went to the grocery store. This was probably a couple of years ago. I was at the grocery store and I'm in the line. I'm getting ready to check out. And this jackass runs his cart into the back of my ankles.
Right.
And I turn around and I look at him and he just stares at me. And I'm like, really, motherfucker? You're going to run your cart into the only person in this store with tattoos on his hands and neck. Right. Are you kidding me? Right. And he backed up and went like 4 lanes over and checked out. And, I mean, I'm a pretty peaceful guy. I'm not, super aggressive or anything, but by looking at me, most people avoid me.
Right. People will always tell me I have a don't fuck with him type of attitude.
Like, yeah, exactly. Yep. And I've gotten asked by, I'll get some crackhead coming up to me like, oh man, where'd you do time? I'm like, no, I didn't do time. I worked at a tattoo shop, dumbass. These are colored tattoos, not black and white.
Right.
But yeah, it makes I'm surprised the tattoos definitely make a difference.
Come here, little kitten. Got my villain cat.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, this is Artemis.
My cat is attacking a plant right now.
Yeah, they like to do that sort of thing.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm like, I'm a Bond villain now. I got a white cat. Look, that's you on the screen. Can you see yourself? No, he's like, oh, I'm going to look at everything except for the screen. No, don't walk on the keyboard. There he goes. There he goes.
Oh, there he goes.
Yep.
Welcome, Artemis. You have joined the chat.
It really was crazy, dude. Like I saw my first man murdered at age 13.
Wow.
We were at the last time the 76ers won the championship. We were at the we all cut school to go to the victory parade. I think I was in ninth grade. Yeah, about eighth, ninth grade, something like that. And the guy behind us got into an argument with the dude next to him, and they got into a fist fight. And the one guy pulled out a straight razor and just cut the other guy's throat. And the dude that got his throat cut beat the hell out of the other guy. But then he fell over dead, and the cops came and drug them both away. We were like covered in blood, man, like because it was squirting everywhere. And they drug him away, and we're like, ah! You know, right back to the parade. We didn't care. I got home. My mom's like, "What in the hell happened to you?" I had another time. I was bartending at the time, and I'm coming home like 3:30 in the morning, and I stop at a red light, and this big fucking giant drunk dude just gets in my car, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I don't remember what he said. He was like drunk or something, and he pissed me off because he was a smart ass after he got in my car. So I locked the doors. I'm like, well, now you're not going nowhere. So he lunged at me, and I had a solid steel, like curling bar.
Yeah.
Solid. And I swung at him, and I hit him. And on the way to hitting him, I hit the rear view mirror. And to this day, I could still remember watching that cartwheel out in the night sky as it flew out the window. I clocked this dude. I cut him from like here to here with the first swing on his forehead. I had a 76 Cadillac. We ended up in the back seat of my Cadillac. I'm laying on my back. I had him pinned to the roof with my legs, just hitting him over and over and over with this steel curling bar. He was like 240, 250 pounds at drunk. He wouldn't like go out, man. And he's like just pouring blood on me. Finally, he begged me to stop hitting him. Like he never passed out. So I like let him off, and he's like gets out of the car like, "Oh, you motherfucker!" I'm like, don't get people's cars. But I went home, and I had one of them long gray overcoats. So I was living at home at the time. I throw it in the bathtub, and I go to bed. Well, my mom wakes me up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, hammering on my door. Are you okay? Are you okay? Well, there was so much blood on the coat that it had turned the bathtub water completely opaque. And just little bits of the coat are floating up over the surface. She thought I was dead in the tub.
Oh, no.
Well, I got two buddies come over. I lived in an apartment complex at the time. They come over. I'm like telling them the story. And they're like, have you been out to the car since this happened? I'm like, no. So we go out and had a white interior. There was just, it looked like the scene from Pulp Fiction when he shoots the dude, blows the dude's brains out by accident.
Yeah.
There was blood everywhere, man. Everywhere. I had a cassette deck. It was back at the cassette deck days. I took my cassette out. There was blood on the cassette in the cassette deck. There was just, this guy must have bled like a quart of blood, and it was just like everywhere. So after that, my friends always said, this guy's completely crazy, and I had like the reputation, and no one ever messed with me after that.
So, like my first year of working security at a bar, it's the end of the night. I'm telling everybody, okay, gotta drink up, gotta go. And I get to this guy, he's got a full drink. It's like 2:15, which TABC, Texas Beverage Commission, they're pretty strict. And so I'm like, dude, you gotta drink your drink, or you gotta give it to me. Either way, I'll be back in like a couple of minutes. I'm gonna have to take it from you. So I go around the bar and I come back to him, and I say, okay, dude, it's time to give me the drink. He turns around to me and he says, hey, you know what today is? And I said, I thought about it for a minute. I was like, I think it's Saturday. And he punched me in the fucking mouth.
Oh, man.
And I was like, I will never fall for that again. 100% will never fall for that again. That was great. I appreciate the lesson.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna happen again, brother. And he got his ass whipped on the way out the door by everybody else that worked at the bar. But
right,
it was a good lesson on how quick people will become an aggressor.
And when you're in a bar, you don't know who's on the other side of that bar.
Yeah. Yep. 100%. So luckily the bar I work at is a neighborhood bar, about 80% regulars. I know what car they drive. I know their names. I know, more than I care to know about their lives. And I don't deal with shit like that. In the 6 years I've worked there, I've kicked out 2 people.
Oh wow!
So it's
the last bar I worked at was a dive bar in Kensington. Man, it was freaking crazy.
Yep. So I don't know, but I learned some lessons in my youth that I don't put up with shit.
Yeah.
Because if you put up with shit, it's going to get worse.
Yep.
You let someone take an inch, they're going to take a mile.
Yeah. It's good to diffuse, but when you see it's not working, it's time to do other things.
No, 100%. And
I had a story very similar to the one that you just told. I had a dude that was harassing all the girls, and he kept like harassing all the girls, and I kept telling him, "Dude, knock it off, man, knock it off," like all night. And then he hit on my girl, and he was like rude as F to her. So I leaned over the bar to him, like I was just going to talk to him again. I'm like, "Hey, man, come here," and he leaned forward, and I was like, "Boom!" Just out. I did to him what that guy did to you. I was like, "Hey, man, hey, come here," and he leaned over the bar. The music's loud.
Yep.
Wham! Out cold. And everybody saw me do that, and they didn't know the story. So they just see me like totally knock this guy out with one punch. He like flew, the stools went flying, how it is. And after that, no one messed with me in that bar, because when you're a bartender, reputation is not a bad thing to have. So,
no, not at all. No, it definitely helps you in that scenario.
Yep.
So, well,
doesn't look like your buddy's coming on.
No, he said he was eating, but I think 2 hours is about my limit.
Yeah, I hear you. Has it been 2 hours?
That's
Yep, an hour
9:51.
An hour and 50. Well, if we ever take that ride to South Carolina, we'll be chatting for a lot.
Oh, here he is.
Hours, so
I'm gonna add him.
I'm still eating, so
what do we have?
That's all right.
Well, it was something quick and easy. All it was a quesadilla.
Oh, okay.
All right, so this is the goat, the fainting goat, famously.
Yeah, I passed out tonight again. Pretty awesome.
Oh, god damn it, dude.
Exactly.
Shit. So, Freedom, he's got something going on with him where he's passing out randomly, and they can't figure it out.
Like narcolepsy?
No, it's not narcolepsy. It's a syncope is what they call it. But syncope is just doctor language for you keep fainting and we don't know why.
Yeah.
And how often does this happen? Is there a pattern, or is it totally random?
I went to GunCon this year, and the week after I got back, I started getting sick, and it's related to a cough. So it's
only been a couple months.
Yeah, and so it's related to the cough. It's just a spike in pressure, but they can't get rid of my cough. And
you got the caught. You think you caught it at GunCon, or you think that's just when it started?
It's possible. I stayed at a Texans heard this story a million times. I stayed at a terrible hotel in Casper, Wyoming, and I think I might have been exposed to
Wyoming.
Yeah, you don't want to be in Casper, Wyoming.
Is that the one the fat guy runs, GunCon? Is that the?
Yeah, the one in Iowa. Yep, it was at Brownells.
I used to know him like 20 years ago on an internet forum. He's from Pennsylvania, like I am.
Yep.
I knew him long before he ever had his channel.
Before he got big, yeah.
Well, he's big, all right.
In every way.
Yep.
Well, Steve, thanks for joining us. If y'all are not familiar, Range Minded Podcast does a great 2A podcast. He's got a bunch of episodes. And no, I think it's great. You can say whatever. Bunch of episodes. Give him a sub. Give him a like.
Plus, it's just good content. Me eating while we're talking.
Yeah, of course.
I'm about ready to go downstairs and get a roast beef sandwich. So.
Yep. I'm gonna have to eat soon too.
I haven't even ate dinner.
Yep, me either.
And this guy shows up with a quesadilla. I'm like, oh man, I haven't even eaten.
Yeah. Making me
What?
hungry.
I
Where
fell
you, where
asleep.
you at, man?
I'm in Southeast Idaho.
Okay.
Mhm.
I've
So-
never been there. I've never been to any of those northern plain states.
Man, you gotta check it out. At least come see Yellowstone. You got to do that at least once. I'm
I've been
like
to Grand
100%.
Canyon. I've never been to Yellowstone.
yeah. I've only driven to the side of Grand Canyon. I've never been in the park.
Mhm.
But Yellowstone is like an hour and 20 minutes away from me. So been there
Yeah.
a lot of times.
Yeah. If you've never seen it, you have to at least once.
I would
Yeah.
say the same thing to you about Big Island, Hawaii.
Oh, I'd love to come to Hawaii.
Oh, I loved it.
My
There's
wife,
no words.
yeah, my wife, my daughter, she nannied there this summer for a little over a month. Just hung out and wasn't as fun as she thought because she worked literally every day, so she didn't have time to play. But
Right.
I've never been to Hawaii. One day I'd like to go.
I went when I was like
Mauna
5.
Kea is it's the tallest mountain in the world on Big Island. Not the highest. The highest is Mount Everest, but Mauna
Right.
Kea starts 5,000 feet below the sea, so it's the tallest mountain in the world. But when you go on top of Mauna Kea, it's like being in outer space. You can see trillions of stars. It's literally there's a big NASA observatory up there called
yeah.
Keck Observatory, but it's like being in outer space. You feel like you should have to have a spacesuit on. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to check it out. I don't travel that much.
You can get in a car in one day and be in a jungle, be on a 13,000 foot high snow-capped mountain. You could be in a lava field, and they have temperate rainforests up in the north. It's like every climate on Earth on one island. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. I lived there on a horse farm. It was awesome.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah. I would go
I'd
out,
love if
go out my front door in the morning, and there was like real big mountains a little bit off in the distance, like a couple miles, like a 4,000 foot mountain. And when it would rain, there was like this giant waterfall. And I would go out in the morning and see this waterfall. It's just unbelievable.
yeah,
But
that's-
there's no words. It's probably like Yellowstone, like until you see it.
yeah.
That's what the Grand Canyon's like. Did you go to the Grand Canyon? Did you see it?
No,
It
I
looks
didn't get
like-
to see the canyon at all.
It looks like an oil painting. Your brain can't process it. So when you look at it, it just looks like a big matte painting.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's really neat. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy how diverse our country is.
Yeah, it's big.
I mean, Europe's got all the history. They go back.
Kind of diverse.
Yeah, but there's so much to see in this country.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, I've seen most of it, but I've never. Every time I've ever been going coast to coast, it's been the cold months, and you can't really drive that northern route too well.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Right. There's nothing
No,
to see anyway
it's
because
not.
everything's like covered in snow. So
Yeah, it's pretty gross in the winter.
one of these years I'll have to do the drive in the summer. So
No, it's worth it for sure.
Yeah, like early summers are the best time to go to Yellowstone.
okay.
Yep. Don't go July or August. That's when all the tourists go.
Tourists,
Go May or June.
Lots of baby animals. It's fun.
Cool.
Yep. You can take a snowmobile trip. So we did this a bunch when I was a kid. You can take a snowmobile trip out of what
Probably
is it
west.
called? Montana. Red Bluff? No. I don't know.
From the north.
Yeah, so you can take a snowmobile trip. They take you into the park during the winter, and there's a
Mhm.
skeleton crew at the Yellowstone Hotel. So you snowmobile in, and you're passing like herds of elk and moose and whatever, and then you stay at the hotel, and then you snowmobile back. It's pretty cool.
Did you guys hear?
That's in Wyoming, right? Most of Yellowstone.
Yeah, Montana.
Yeah.
Wyoming,
Yep.
and a little sliver in Idaho.
Right. Right.
Did you guys hear that there was an attempted mass shooting this on the 4th of July? I just found out about this
Where at?
yesterday in
Yellowstone?
Yellowstone. Yeah, at the Grand Teton Lodge.
Really?
Or the Grand Canyon Lodge, not the Grand Teton, whatever it's called. The big lodge right there in the
Someone
middle.
shoot 'em?
The feds found out about it and shot him. He didn't do anything. He didn't have a chance to do anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the feds intercepted him, but I mean, that's like next door to me, and I had no idea about it.
So one federal agency programmed them and got them ready for the shooting, and another one that killed them, huh?
Yeah.
It's that tone.
We have a Daniel Defense M5.
They all said it was an AR style rifle, and from the body cam footage, it was really hard to tell what it was because it was really fast. Like the image of it was so fast.
Right.
But
I
the thing
joke that if they have a Daniel Defense M5, the feds put them up to it.
It's kind of weird how that works.
Yeah, it's amazing how many guys choose the same exact model of it. Really, like these losers with no job and no life, living in a mom's basement. They got a $3,000 AR-15, right?
Yeah, I wish I had a $3,000 AR-15.
I actually have a
me
couple
too
behind me, but
I have one high end AR, but that company's not even around anymore.
Oh yeah, which company?
It's a LAR Grizzly out of Utah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they used to make 45
Yeah, 1911s. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was a big round, the 45 Grizzly round.
Yeah, and I wish I had one of those little 1911s.
45 Winchester Magnum, it was, right?
I can't remember what caliber, but yeah, they were hot and spicy.
Yeah, it's like a 45 auto, but twice the length.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear about that shooting at all.
Yeah,
I didn't hear nothing about it.
Yeah, it was on the DL. It just came across my feed on YouTube one day. I was just scrolling through, and I was like, "What the hell is this?"
Oh no! This went in there. Oh shit!
How long ago was that?
That I saw it.
Yeah, no, this happened
on July 4th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow,
I didn't even heard about it.
That's a while ago. Huh.
Yeah, I was surprised that I didn't. You'd think at least being closer to the park, I would hear about it.
Yeah, especially since probably nothing goes on there, right?
Not like that.
No, not at all.
In the neighborhood I used to live in, Philly, we had like shootings. Like 1 year, I had 3 neighbors murdered within like 100 feet of my house.
Damn.
Like 100 feet of my front door. I had a dude one night crashed. I was bartending then too, and I come home and there's this car crashed in front of my house. He took out like 10 cars because he crashed. And I get out and I walk up to the dude. I'm like, "Hey, dude, you okay?" And he's like gurgling blood. And the cops pulled up. And I'm like, leaning in the car to try and help him. They're like, "Get away from him. Get away from him. Get away from him." But they just stood there and let the dude bleed out.
Was he the bad guy?
Everybody's a bad guy. In that area, there's a lot of bad guys. You ever seen any documentaries on Kensington in Philly?
Mm-mm.
I
think so.
It's like Zombieville, like Zombieland.
Maybe Peter Santinello did a documentary
A
there.
lot of millions of people done documentaries, but
Maybe I did see that. There was tons of drug abuse.
I used to live there, so it's unbelievable, and it's like there's
That's too bad.
it's and I lived there and I never got into all that shit. So it's
You were
the
one of the
individual.
smart
It's all in the individual.
Yeah, it's sad seeing people just throw their lives away.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Addiction is not good.
Yeah,
Nope.
it's weird the way some people just can't control it at all, and other people are like, whatever.
Yeah, that's why I don't drink alcohol. I watched my uncle die of alcohol
Oh,
poisoning,
really?
and it was just sad watching how much that controlled every decision he made in his life. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm not
I had an
gonna.
uncle die from heroin.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
If that's what you want to do with your life, it's a shame.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, what's your podcast? What do you do? Like videos or just a podcast?
So, the beginning of this year started switching everything over to video form as well as audio.
Right.
I have a few like funner videos. I think I'm gonna. In fact, I talked about this
on
last
YouTube.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I think I'm gonna start doing some more review type things and some range videos, just because I feel like my content's getting kind of stagnant and boring. Texan says it's
review
good.
videos are good because you get a lot of free stuff.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that actually.
Yeah.
100%.
and I've been doing it for a while. Just my subscription is so low that nobody wants to pay attention to me.
How many subscribers you get?
75, I think. It's
Do
super
short.
low.
Start doing shorts. If you put out a short every day, you'll be at 1,000 within 6 months.
I guess I better
Yeah.
do that.
How many guns?
He's right. He's right.
How many
Yeah.
guns do I have?
Yeah.
Not enough.
Take
That's
You
the
don't want
correct
to-
answer.
go on the kitchen table. Take your phone, do a vertical format video. Go on the YouTube Music Library, pick a song that you think is cool, and put 3 or 4 of them up a week, and you'll be to 1,000 subscribers within 6 months.
That's the Carl model right there.
Yep. Yep.
Carl from Twitter, your smart ass Carl. Yeah. There's always enough room for one more gun in my safe. Always. Or I buy another safe.
One more safe in your house. Yeah.
I've got
Yeah.
I
got
limit
more than one.
myself to like a half dozen guns on purpose. Otherwise, I'll just, if I want a new gun, I sell one and get something different.
Yeah, I probably should do that, but every time I sell a gun, I'm so emotionally connected to it, I feel bad.
Right. Right.
It's like I've lost a child or something.
Well,
Yep.
if you start reviewing them, you'll have like just like my AR setups are just, they don't last for a week because I got some new optic or some new stock or some new handguard, and they're just constantly changing.
Yeah.
And get uppers from Bear Creek Arsenal now, so they send me a whole upper, and I'll just like slap a bunch of stuff on that.
Oh,
Do
super
videos.
cool.
Yeah, they're constantly changing.
Yeah. Same. I get a
So-
new optic and I'm like, okay, all right, we're rolling this optic this week.
I'm actually trying to stay away from gun stuff that's like AR related because you can't sell it on eBay. Man, dudes who had a channel 10 years ago, they had it easy. You could sell everything on eBay, man. Now, like if I get an AR upper, I got to go on tax swap and whatever, and they don't get nearly the traffic. It's a pain in the butt. But like camping, like tents and sleeping bags, all that crap. As soon as you're done, man, you throw it out on eBay, you'll get like 65% of retail value. Flip it. Make a pretty decent living.
I will say range for
That'd be
sure.
fun.
My first, when I was trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, I did a lot of shorts,
Mm-hmm.
and that got me to 1,000 really, really quick.
Yeah.
And then I fell off. So yeah, the shorts will get you subs. They won't watch your they won't watch your
It's
podcast.
2 separate audiences.
Yeah, it is.
You're making your
people
long
who
format
watch shorts
videos
watch
for your
shorts.
long format
Yep.
subscribers, and you're
Yep.
making your shorts for your short subscribers. 2 totally different audiences.
Yeah.
100%.
That's good to know. Like I do have a few shorts, but nothing
Right.
like not a deep catalog by any means.
Right. One thing that I've done is I've networked with a bunch of other channels on Tactical Techs and a bunch of other channels, and we share each other's videos.
Yep.
On our community tab, and that helps a lot too. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. So
Yeah, I don't know why it took so long to get to the video format. I've been doing the podcast since 2018.
Was that like radio or like Spotify or?
Yeah. Spotify, SoundCloud,
Do you get a lot
iTunes.
of subscribers on there? Hey, what's up, Adventurers Guide? He's one of my subscribers. That's a good dude.
What's
He
up,
also has a
Adventures?
YouTube channel. If anybody else is in the chat, check him out too. Adventurers Guide to the Galaxy. Good dude. He's one of us.
Nice. It's good to bring more into the fold too.
Yes. While you guys are all chatting, I'm going to go take care of some business. I think I'm grabbing me that roast beef sandwich now.
Do
Yeah,
it.
there you go.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, so Steve, Freedom by Me here is we've been kind of sharing videos and chatting back and forth for probably over a year.
Really.
So yeah, good dude. He skyrocketed past me because he's retired and he can post 4 videos a week.
I need to figure out, like, I finally dropped an episode last night after 2 weeks, which I used to be really diligent about having 1 episode a week, and I used to be really structured. I used to be on like either every Thursday night or every Sunday night I would drop a video or an episode, and now it's been tough for me to fulfill that commitment. It's really frustrating to me.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at too. So I decided I need a more structured schedule. So I'm going to start doing lives on Tuesday and release a video review on Fridays.
Oh, yeah, that's a
And
good
I'm just
idea.
I'm going to roll forward with that because I got overwhelmed and too many products and too much pressure. And I got companies email me going, "Hey, where's that video?"
Yeah.
Hey,
And that's the other thing, right? Once you get companies giving you things to create content with, man, you don't want to drop the ball on that one.
no, and I have dropped the ball over the last couple months. Hey, Adventures Guy, do you be safe down there? He's in Orlando, so
Oh, damn.
he's about to get thwacked with that storm.
Yeah, because it sounds like Orlando's the one that's going to get pounded now, isn't it?
Yep.
Isn't that where it's headed to?
Yeah, I think so. So my mother-in-law is actually in Orlando, so yep, not good.
Yeah, I worry about everybody that's down there.
Yeah, I mean, we get them here. It's kind of run of the mill, you know, like the grocery store sell out of water and whatnot. But I mean, everybody here should be used to it, and everybody in Florida should be used to it. But that's a monster storm. It's a little bit different animal.
Yeah, it seems
was
strange too. Like,
Yes, 100%. I was telling Freedom this earlier. I've never seen a storm travel from the Texas Gulf side across the Gulf towards Florida. It's really weird. I've never seen that. I've lived here 32 years. I've never seen that.
yeah. And then with it being 180 mile an hour winds, and which I know we've had Category 5s before, like that's not new, but it just seems like the storm is just a different storm than normal. And you can call it global warming or you can call it government control or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's going to impact people's lives and change lives in its path.
100%. Yep. I mean, in an area that if that thing goes through Florida and moves up, you know, it's projected to go straight out to the Atlantic, but if it moves through Florida and goes up the coast to those areas that were just hit, I mean, I can't imagine.
Yeah, those communities can't take another hit like that.
No, they can't.
2,000-year storms in a month, like that would be.
So
my heart still breaks for all those people that are.
Oh, it's crazy.
Never going to be. They can never live the way they used to.
No, I've been reposting every relief effort I can to try to get those people some help. You know, I'm a small presence on X, but anything helps. And if you're on social media at all and you see these stories, please repost them and get the word out.
Yeah. I need to get my patch wall. Gee whiz, look at that.
That's good patch wall.
I had some guy on eBay because I put those patches on eBay. By the way, if you guys want patches, I don't have any pictures out. Yes, I do. I guess I can pull this thing off. I'm shielding my stuff on your show. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I need to order one of those Killdozer patches.
I had a guy on eBay because I listed them all on eBay.
I'll get with you in a minute and order one of those.
So
I have that.
Here's the Perry the Platypus, dangerous and unusual. This is the one that he was talking about. The common use dozer patch. And I've actually thought that patch was going to take off, but it really didn't, at least not yet. And then my branded range-minded patch. Gosh, you have one of those too, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Yep. I ordered the dangerous and unusual and the range-minded, but I'll get with you in a little bit here and get one of the.
Just a little patch. Nothing special on that one.
Yeah, he does some good patches, Adventurous.
And I can't order the next batch until I sell more of what I got because my wife is already pissed at me that because you have to order 50 at a time.
Yeah.
And as a minimum, and I was hoping they'd take off a little bit more, and maybe as the channel grows, that'll be a different story. It'll be harder to keep them in.
Wow. But I'll hit you up in a little bit and send you some money for one of those common use patches.
Yeah. And I'm sure you know who Whistling Diesel is.
Yep.
Did you see he's building the Killdozer too?
Oh no, I didn't.
Yeah, it's freaking hilarious. And I know a lot of people don't like him because he's kind of hard to watch sometimes. But yeah, he's building the Killdozer. It's hilarious.
That's fantastic.
And he drove it. He found like the dozer in Montana or something, and he trailered it through Granby, Colorado.
Because your wife just burnt the floor and just got to do a real quick vacuum right there.
Okay. I'm going to mute myself for a second because my wife's vacuuming some crap up off the floor.
Uh-oh. Yes, everybody does need their own killdozer.
Yes, 100%.
Yes, at 1992. You know, that's what Adventures Guide was talking about was HAARP. It's hard to look at some of those radar images that and see all those blips in the path of the storm and not kind of wonder. Very strange to me. And HAARP's been around. People can say, "Oh, the government can't control weather." HAARP's been around since the 50s.
Yeah,
they've been moving storms and seeding clouds since the 40s and 50s.
Yeah,
Myself a nice cup of Joe, gents.
Oh, there you go.
Black, super stiff.
Yeah, what do we got here? We got to show off. I don't even know how everything's backwards. How the hell do I get the guns to show? I'm so confused. There we go. Everything's backwards. I'm not smart enough to figure out the reverse trigonometry.
I know.
Yeah.
I was trying to get my patch wall in, and I kept turning my camera the wrong way.
Yeah.
We're
Okay,
all monkeys
tell
here.
your story there, fellas.
I'm not a monkey.
What's that?
I said, finish telling your story.
I can't even remember what we were talking about.
Oh, we were talking about that hurricane being
Yeah.
super damn weird.
The last two.
Yeah, the last two. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
did this one that's about to hit Florida, did that hit Texas too? Or-
No, it came. That's a weird thing about it. It came from the Texas side of the Gulf and went to Florida, which never in my life
Yeah, I did
has.
like a U-turn.
Yeah, I've
I
never
was
seen
watching
that.
some video today. They were saying that the CIA's control of the weather. They're wiping out red areas for the election.
They could.
Maybe, I
Actually,
mean,
Asheville, which was in North Carolina, they called out the San Francisco to the south. So that's like all like real liberal. And that got wiped out.
Well, they may as well call this next hurricane Kamala because it avoided Mexico, and there's a whole bunch of sucking and blowing going on.
Yeah.
you know, today's conspiracies are tomorrow's news stories.
That's true. Alex Jones is always right.
Weirdly, yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Always
As much
right.
as I don't want him to be right,
Right.
Yep.
he seems to hit the nail on the head every time.
It's shocking, actually, how often he's always right. In
Yeah.
fact, I just used one of his memes in my one of my videos a week or two ago. Remember the I Love Our Somalis? So I was talking about aliens, like, you know, this would be my gun in case aliens came. And I'm like, well, I mean the ones from outer space, not our, you know, our immigrants. We love them. And I played the skit with him saying, I love our Somalis.
Yeah. It's
Gotta love a
a
good meme.
it's a strange world we live in, gentlemen. A strange world.
It's not the world we grew up in.
No, it is not.
How old are
Even
you,
5
Steve?
years
About 25?
Oh, shit, I wish. I'm 46 this year.
Oh, you're a youth. I was 46 once.
My body sure doesn't
Me
feel like
too.
it's a kid.
When I was 46, he was 40.
Yeah, my body says, screw you, Steve.
Oh yeah, it's unfortunate. You know that dude that was just in here posting earlier, nobody. He's in his 60s, dude. He's built like a brick shit house. He's an ex Green Beret,
Oh, nice.
and dude, he's still stacked, and he's in his 60s. Some people's joints just like some people lose their hair, some people, you know, get arthritis, whatever. He's obviously blessed with good joints because to be in your 60s and still run around doing all that shit.
Well, I was
My
a stupid
20s. It almost killed me in the infantry.
I was a stupid carpenter, so I would always lift heavy things and and
nobody wore knee pads back then either, right?
No way. Yeah, I was
Only
invincible.
Kamala.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, when I was in the infantry, there were no knee pads. There was no elbow pads. You just slam down on your knees and shit, you know?
Well, I'll say I feel lucky because at 50, I don't feel 50. I feel the same as I did in my 30s.
I don't feel mentally 50.
Yeah.
I don't feel physically 50.
When I was in my 30s, dude, I was cut. I was like 5% body fat, you know? Them days, those days went away a long time ago. So
yeah, well, I'm carrying around a little extra here, but
you know, I actually argue that that's not a bad thing for a prepping.
Yeah,
well,
you
that's
got
true.
An extra timeline on there.
Get
Like
an extra couple weeks.
Like carry the 2 or 3 week supply of food on you.
Yep, get an extra couple weeks.
Yeah, because if you're like super lean and cut, and you know, you got to go without food for a while, you're just burning pure muscle.
Yeah.
Whereas if you got fat, you're burning a lot of fat and muscle. You can survive for a lot longer. So if you survive that initial, 30-day period, that'll all be gone anyway, and you'll be happy you had it. So
yeah, I'm fat and happy, I guess, right now.
You into prepping at all, Steve? You do
a little bit. I need to be better. I mean, I got food set aside and stuff like that.
Being in Idaho, I would think that's just a way of life up there.
Yeah. I can attest to having food storage. There was a time I didn't have work and we lived off my food storage for a while. So
nothing wrong with that, man.
It's a lot of people think, oh, food storage only for the end of days or whatever, but sometimes you got to live off of that. Shit happens sometimes.
Absolutely. Are you a canned food guy? Is that what you store, or do you buy like all that fancy freeze-dried stuff?
I've got a bucket of the freeze-dried stuff, but we've done some canning, so I've got some home canned stuff, and then
my wife knows how to do it. She was doing it a lot the first year we were. I live on a homestead down in the south.
That's awesome.
We've been here for like 3 years, and the first year my wife did all the canning and stuff, and she doesn't really do it anymore, but she knows how. And we have a lot of stuff that she did can, but every month now when I go shopping, we try and buy $50 to $100 of canned food and just throw it on the shelf.
Yeah, why not?
We got it pretty good. Yeah, I don't think you need to buy all that fat. Like I'm wearing a Nutrient Survival shirt that they sent me, but I'm about to talk shit on them. All that freeze-dried shit, that stuff is so expensive. You don't need all that crap.
Yeah. It is expensive. Yep.
It's nice if you have to backpack or something. It's kind of nice because it saves some weight.
Right.
But it's not a necessity.
Right. And MREs, I hate MREs. I actually lived on them. They may be neat when you're a civilian LARPing, but when you got to live on them things, they suck. Yeah. I hated MREs.
Yeah, they handed those out here during what hurricane was that? Ike. Hurricane Ike rolled through here.
The civilian ones.
And they handed out MREs, and I just stuck.
Did you have the Tabasco sauce though?
Yeah. Have to have Tabasco.
That was
That's how you know.
That was damn near 20 years ago.
Yeah. When I was in, we had the first generation MREs. They were brand new. They had just switched over from the C rations.
Oh, geez.
How freaking old I am.
Yeah.
But they didn't know what they were doing, man. They had like 8 different meals and like 7 of them stuck hard. We would fight each other for the ham slices and snot sauce. We had a dehydrated pork patty that we called the dehydrated puke patty. Then they had a dehydrated beef patty. The chicken, they had a chicken a la king, I think. That was okay, but the superstar was the ham slices and snot sauce. So we would and everybody still smoked back then. So we'd be like, I'll give you 2 packs of Marlboro for your ham slices. You know what I mean? Nowadays, everybody in the military is gay. They're probably like, I'll give you 2 blowjobs for the, whatever it is they got nowadays.
Yeah. At least a handy.
Yeah.
What's that?
At least a handy.
Yeah, I'll give you a reach around. Things are completely. When I was in, man, if they even had a hint that you were gay, they'd throw your ass out. You'd be like, "What happened to Mike? He was swallowing swords," and you'd be gone like that, man. They would chapter you right out. Totally different.
Yeah, that makes me nervous too. Because the world sees how weak we are, man, that's not good.
Yeah. We should change the topic before you get demonetized.
Yeah, that's okay. Whatever. But it's a brave new world, folks.
Bro, I was on a live chat with one of the dudes in our group, Red Dawn Readiness, and the topic of the things that you put in your arm for diseases came up. They gave him a strike.
Wow.
And we only talked about it for like 30 seconds. They demonetized his channel, gave him a strike.
Yep.
That happened to me. I was on a Twitter live that I was broadcasting on my YouTube channel, and we talked about that was with Joe. We talked about that for maybe 5 seconds, and I got a strike, and they took the video down, and I couldn't even protest it. Like it was done. It was gone.
That was pre-Elon or post-Elon?
And the whole thing, the whole thing was total bullshit. All of that.
100%. 100%.
Total bullshit. That was the biggest transfer of wealth in human history.
Yep.
And they had to see how compliant we would be.
Yeah.
And they
saw. I took it seriously for like, I don't know, 2 weeks because something like that could happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I did the same thing.
I figured, all right, we were like wearing masks and all that stuff. Like, but the food, we would get the food delivered to our house from Walmart, and we would wipe down all the food before we brought it in the house and everything. And after like 2 weeks, I'm like, you know what? This is total bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did the same. I didn't play games with it.
I was like, 100,000 people are dead, and I don't even know anyone who's got sick. You know what I mean? Like in my whole area. Like, no one I know is getting sick. And they're talking about there's more people died than the Vietnam War. I'm like, where's this happening? Because I didn't even know anyone that's gotten sick. So it was bullshit, man.
Yeah, it's one of the larger scams in human history.
It is.
Yep.
But what are you going to do? So what kind of guns do you like, Steve?
Anything that goes bang.
So in other words, yes.
Yeah. And I've got old stuff and I've got modern stuff. So honestly, it doesn't matter to me as long as, because I love everything about firearms. I love the way they smell. I love the mechanics. I love the history.
I wish we could touch one on a live stream. I have a beautiful 1851 Hawk and Plain rifle.
Oh, sweet.
Nice.
4 feet away from me that I would love to
nice.
Well, technically that's not a firearm, right?
I think
don't do that.
Take our ass right down. So.
Don't do that.
But I like.
I'm already on a warning. I don't need a strike.
A lot of guns, I just like just to hang them on the wall, like an old Lee Enfield or something like that. Like when I was young, you could get an M1 carbine for like $150.
I know.
And
now
it's like $800,
$1,000. It's insane.
Well, and it also depends on the make,
right?
But yeah,
there's a company called Fulton Armory. They make a modern one that's just awesome. Google it if you've never heard of them. The Fulton Armory M3 Scout. So
I want to say EAA or somebody's making one now in 22.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right up my alley.
I shoot that CMMG Bravo kit in my 22 and my ARs all the time. Dude, that thing is awesome. I have like 12,000 rounds through it. I shoot most of my videos. I use 22. I'm not paying 50 cents a round for 223, man.
Nope. Yeah. I think those were on sale at Palmetto for like $149.
Absolutely worth the
this
weight
week.
in gold.
Yeah, I've seen them pop up, and I'm like, do I buy one now or do I wait?
And I'll tell you, for a survival gun, like if you're backpacking or whatever, and like your main gun's an AR, you throw that bolt and a couple boxes of 22 ammo in there, and you could take like Black Bear easily with like the 77 grain heavy stuff, like bonded hunting stuff. But if you got the 22 bolt kit, you're good for everything from squirrels to black bear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In fact, in Alaska, shockingly, I watched some specials on this. The number one thing they use for polar bear hunting are 223 bolt action rifles.
Yeah.
Which is, if you told a lower 48 hunter that you're going polar bear hunting with a 223, they'd have an aneurysm. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, those Bravo kits are awesome, dude.
Yeah, I need to get something like that because I've got a couple of 22s.
Right.
I got one. I bought it at an auction for $3 that just needs a stock. And
wow.
Nice.
And I went through it. Me and my buddy that's a gunsmith, we went through it. It cycles, runs great.
Right.
I just need a stock for it. And
that's awesome. What kind of gun?
It's just a little Mossberg Plinkster.
Okay, that's cool.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
No,
No?
for $3, nothing wrong with that.
I'm down here in
No,
the
hell
South, bro.
no.
I got all these. I don't want to offend my neighbors or whatever. I love them. They're great people, but dude, these are like redneck country boys, man. Like my one neighbor comes over to one day. He's got the original Henry 22, the new Henry company, but the first gun they made was just called the Henry 22.
Yeah.
And he's like, this piece of crap don't work. I don't like no Henry. So I'm like, leave it with me, dude. He's owned it for like 10 years. This man has never oiled this gun.
It's
I oiled it up. I swabbed the door. This thing was shooting. I was hitting dimes at 25 yards with it. It was like slick as snot. I brought it back to him. He was like, holy cow, what'd you do to it? I'm like, I oiled it.
basic firearms maintenance.
Yeah, it's amazing what oil will do.
I have one of those Henry 22s. It's a
Oh,
fantastic shooter.
Oh, Clint, just you hold that and you could feel America pumping through your veins every time you work the lever, man. It's just
100%.
I have a Silver Boy in 22 mag.
nice.
I bought it for my dad. My dad passed away, so I got it back. You know, when he
That's cool.
graduated this life, and so that is such a sweet gun to shoot.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. He graduated this life.
Yeah.
Now he's at the hand of the Father.
Yep. I will tell you that Henry has a fantastic customer service should you ever need it.
Are they still in New Jersey?
No, they're in
Didn't they move to Tennessee or something?
Tennessee. Yeah.
Because for a long time, I wouldn't even look at one of them because they were in New Jersey.
When you call,
Or as we call it, New Germany.
yeah. When
I
you
used to
call
live in Philly, which is right across the bridge. And there's parts of Pennsylvania where the two states are separated by the Delaware River, but in parts, it's like a little tiny creek. And you can cross over into New Jersey accidentally without noticing it very, very easily. Well, I have a gun permit that's good in like 33 states. You go into New Jersey with a gun, even if you got a permit, you are an instant felon. And they hate guns, dude. They take it incredibly seriously. You can go over one little wayward, tiny little shitty bridge and be looking at 5 years in prison.
Yep.
So I was good to get away. I was happy to get away from there for that reason.
It's the ammo you carry too, right? You can't have hollow points in New Jersey.
There's actually a trick to that. You can have hollow points in your home, and you can transport them to your home, but you can't carry them in your gun.
Gotcha.
It's retarded. Well, it's all retarded.
Good thing
And they're banned under the armor-piercing ammunition law, and as everyone knows, hollow points don't penetrate armor.
No.
The opposite of armor-piercing ammo.
Well, good news is I have no desire to go to New Jersey. So
I'm not a fan. And the property taxes there make your eyes bleed just looking at them.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, I've never wanted to go to Jersey. I used to think I wanted to go to New York City just to see the buildings, but I don't know if I even want to do that anymore.
Yeah, no, it's a shithole. Last time I was in New York was 2 weeks after 9/11, and the buildings were still smoking. And that's the last time I was ever there.
I've been up northeast, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine.
I've never really. I was born in Boston, but I never really gone that far. I've spent almost no time in New England.
So Maine has a beautiful coastline, but I wouldn't want to go there again.
Right? Why not?
It's full of liberal shit.
Full of Maynards.
Yeah, Maynards. Right. No, Maine's actually not too bad. Vermont, New Hampshire, a little different story. Yeah, New Hampshire's a weird state.
When you live
New Hampshire,
when you live in a state that's 99.6% white and preach to the rest of the world how they need to embrace their diversity, like who's your governor's name? Tactical. Abbott.
Greg Abbott. Greg Abbott.
Oh, it is okay.
Hot Wheels.
When he shipped them, bust them up to Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah.
They
lost their damn mind.
And they deported them within 24 freaking hours.
Yep. They lost their damn mind.
Utter freaking liberals. I mean, hypocrites. 2/3 of the illegals that have come into the country, they're sending them into little towns in red states.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Weird how that works.
I am so going to get demonetized.
And they're not even illegal. Well, they're not illegals. They're asylum seekers.
Yeah.
So they're not even.
While we're talking about Henry, it looks like they just launched a new rifle, a 9mm lever action.
Oh, that's interesting.
The Homesteader.
No, they launched that a while ago. My buddy
did they?
has.
No,
one.
they launched.
Yeah,
I thought
that
they
was like
launched
a year ago.
9mm semi-auto a little while ago. They've had they've had a 9mm lever.
Yeah, this is a 9mm.
Oh,
lever.
that's the lever. You're right. You're right.
Tube fed. A tube fed or mag fed?
Yep, tube. It's
Oh,
pretty
okay.
sweet.
Oh, that's
actually.
cool.
I actually have been saying for a long, long time that there's a market for that, because if you're in one of these slave states, a 9mm is much shorter than a 357 mag.
Yeah, you get some capacity in there.
And you put some 9mm plus P plus in there, and you get up to 600 foot-pounds of energy from an 18-inch gun.
Yep.
So there's a market for that. If you're in a slave state.
I'll have to look into that.
They sure have some cool guns, though.
They do. I mean, even the little 22 I have is beautiful, and it runs like a top.
I like the Homesteader, but I think it's clunky looking.
My buddy has it. He loves it.
The handguard, I feel like the front handguard's like too square.
Yeah.
And it's heavy, right? Isn't it like 7.5, 8 pounds or something?
Something like that. He loves it. I looked at it and was like, for that price, no, I'll pass.
Yeah, and it's a blowback, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, you better back up off me with $1,000 blowback. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Give it a lock breech for $1,000.
Hey, but it runs a Glock mag.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I can put my 30-round Glock mag in there. That'd be awesome.
Did you see Kamala Harris came out today and said, or Sunday in her 60 Minutes interview, she said she owns a Glock?
Yeah. I'd be curious I would have pushed a little harder, like, oh, really? What model?
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of people don't even know those things anyway. Like I used to live, I lived in Philly, and we had like the cops carry Glocks and be like, hey, what kind of Glock you got? Oh, Glock. Well, what model? I don't know. 9mm. Looks like we lost our Texan.
Glock 40.
Yeah. Which is funny because the Glock Model 40 is not a 40.
No.
I think that's a 10mm, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a full-size 10.
Do you got grizzly bears where you're at? You're in the southern part, right?
No, we're getting more and more grizzly bears.
Okay.
And they're protected.
Right.
So you can't just go shoot them, which is asinine.
Wow.
Because they're wreaking havoc on the livestock.
Yeah. Which is funny because the Bible says, I put all the animals here for man. Yeah.
Right. If they just did a controlled hunt, sold 100 tags or what, that'd be great.
Oh, so you can't even hunt them?
No, they're protected. And so my son's friend's little brother, if that makes sense, they were up deer hunting, and the kid he was with got mauled by a grizzly bear. And luckily for them, they had some handguns, 10 mils, and they emptied 2 magazines or 3 magazines into this bear, and it finally died.
I honestly think the type of ammo you're carrying is a lot more important than the caliber.
Yes, indeed.
Because like if you got a 44 mag, but you got like hollow points, you'd be better off with that. Yeah.
I was selling guns one time because I used to run some ranges, so and they both had retail space. Anyway, we got in this conversation. This one guy, 2 dudes came in, and one guy's like, "Hey, what do you recommend for bear hunting or bear defense?" And I'm like, "Well, I do a 10mm with a good hard cast bullet."
Right.
And his buddy's like, "Oh, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Just do 1911 45 ACP."
You ever heard of the AmmoLand bear study?
I think I actually read that.
It's an ongoing study still, but they've studied every single documented case in human history where someone used a handgun against a bear. And we're talking every caliber, and they're 98% effective against bear attack.
Yeah.
Not regardless of caliber, but like it includes one of the very few times a handgun has ever been documented to fail was some Boy Scouts in Norway, and they brought a 22 revolver and the polar bear.
That's not good. That's not a good matchup.
Failures. But yeah, I mean, like, dude, what are you thinking, man?
Yeah.
I see you chatting in the chat down there, Adventurers Guide. Are you still with us? I feel like he's been talking and I've been ignoring him. I'm sorry, brother.
Yeah, that's my fault too.
By. Yeah,
That's my fault too.
We appreciate you stopping by. Hey, if he's still here, you can bring him on for all I care. He's got a prepping channel.
There you go.
Dude.
Yeah,
We'll
he's
see
still
if
down
he,
there.
Hey, you want to hop on with us? I'm going to go get another cup of coffee. If he wants to get on, I'm fine with bringing him on. He's a cool dude. All right, I'll be right back. I need more of my coffee.
Yeah, I just sent you the. I just put it in the comments. Adventures. If you just want to jump in.
Oh, we're gonna get a plethora of people jumping in.
Yep.
Do you know what a plethora is?
I got maybe another 30 minutes in me, and then I got to eat something.
Yeah, dude.
But the more the merrier.
I'm here for you, my friend.
I appreciate that. Always good to have you in this. Well, it's not space. I get confused between the two platforms. The stream. There we go. My brain's not working. I've been up too long.
Yeah, I got home and I fell asleep. I was up last night trying to get the show published and produced. It was like 2 a.m. when I finally went to bed. And so I got a couple hours of sleep, went to work, and then, when I was home, I've been tired.
Yep.
And then when I have these coughing fits, like, they just take a ton of energy out of me, too.
Yeah.
Guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. I was getting all my hurricane stuff ready because I'm down here in Orlando, and a lot of my different friends and stuff, they're all down here. They're leaving and going all these different places. And, I just went and got some chainsaws and tools, and I'm just here in my house, just hanging out, not really going anywhere.
Yeah.
What are the authorities telling you?
Oh, what's up, everybody?
Hey, look at that.
Hey, welcome
What's
in.
going on? Welcome back. What's going on? Thanks for having me on, everybody. I know a little short notice, but I just like I said, I saw you guys live. I saw his post on the community tab, and I was like, oh man, I gotta join him. Because I don't really, I haven't been doing videos this past couple of weeks. Normally,
Hey, what's up, brother?
What's up, man? How are you doing?
Oh, don't make me lie to you.
Oh man, I saw it because, like I said, the hurricane went up there, and I was telling my friends because I talk about the crazy stuff all the time, and I had one of my friends who were like, "Oh man, this hurricane's gonna get us," and I was like, I've been through hurricanes. I went out to Okinawa. I've been through typhoons. I've been through like probably about 30 or 40 of them. And I'll tell you what, I was like, if Florida doesn't absorb every single inch of this next hurricane, any of it goes north, you guys are going to get you already got destroyed. So I'm like, we have to absorb, unfortunately as it is,
Right.
we have to absorb this entire destruction. Because if any of it goes north, think about it. If even like one of these super bands goes up to North Carolina or West North Carolina or East Tennessee, it's not good.
Where were
It's
you,
not good.
Navy? What were you doing out in Okinawa?
I was in the Marine Corps for
Okay.
I was out there for about 33 months, and then I was just going around doing different doing cyber terrorism because I was a comm tech. We did comm and motor T, just going around fixing, setting up electronics, and they came down and they invented the red and blue team when I was there. Like, oh hey, because all the old guys would come down to our platoon. What are you guys working on? Like, oh, look at all these computers and all this stuff. They're like, all the generals and colonels were like, wow, I have no idea what you just said, but that sounds really cool. I'm glad we're paying for this. And I'm like, wow, that's really cool that you think my job is awesome.
How long have you been out, man?
It was great. I did that for 4 years. And then, I got out of the active duty. I did reserve for 2 years. I did motor T, switched over. That was great here in Florida. I did 2 units here. And then I did a year in the National Guard. And then, now I'm here trolling the government every day of my life.
Welcome in, brother.
To get your 10% compensation for hearing loss.
Oh yeah, I'm actually thinking about doing that because I finally, after 10 years, I've been out for 10 years. I got out in 2013. After 10 years, I finally got my VA rating. They fought me. They tried to assassinate me with poison bugs and laser beams from the sky, but I made it.
When I moved here, man, all my neighbors are vets, and they're like, "Dude, are you collecting? What are you doing? Go into VA. You'll get at least 10% for your hearing loss." I was like,
Yeah.
All right, and they gave me 20%. So
Awesome. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. I got injured. Like I said, I got like a couple pinched nerves in my back, shoulders and knees twisted up. Cause like I said, we would do all kinds of stuff. I came back from the Philippines, as you know, the 2011, there was the tsunami in Japan. I was out there for that. And it was
Really? You were in
crazy.
Japan or you were in Okinawa?
I was in Okinawa, and we were getting ready to go to the Philippines. Like the earthquake happened, like, oh, we should go to northern Japan. And the Japanese were like, no, we don't want your help, but we're dying, so I guess we need it. So some of us went. A lot of us got turned away because the radiation was going crazy. So like we just sat around, like, what are we going to do? And then we went to the Philippines instead, and then we
For those
continued.
who don't know, who've never been in the military, the entire military experience is hurry up and wait.
Oh yeah, yeah,
we get somewhere full gangbusters as fast as you can, and then you just sit there.
Yeah. We unpacked and packed our gear about 20 times in one day, and everyone's like, you know what? I don't care. Blow everything up. I just want to go sit in my room. I'm done. You guys are playing games.
So what part of Florida are you in?
I live in Orlando, in East Orlando, like almost towards the Kennedy Space Center. So like you look out like this way, you can see like the rocket launches every other day. They're just doing all types of stuff.
I got another buddy that's down there in Orlando area too. I had to hook you guys up. He's like all about prepping and all that stuff, man.
Oh yeah, let me know, because like I said, it's always good to have people around here, especially all this type of stuff going on. Because I mean, there's always something crazy going on here because they got all types of stuff here. And one of the things I was putting in the chat is that I do videos of it sometimes. I have like the Psionics little night vision camera. I'm always looking around, and you can see like the little bursts of light. Like you can tell the difference between lightning. There's all types of lightning. I do lightning videos all the time. And then there's nights where there's no clouds.
Videos if you like that sort of ambiance thing. Man.
Oh yeah, that stuff's wild. And then there's no clouds in the sky. You can look on the radar, no clouds for hundreds of miles, and you see the giant burst of light. Like you can see it with no device. Like what is that? And it's like one of those it's like some little stations they have, like little ion bursts, and that's how they throw the bursts in the clouds and kind of like try to do manipulations. They're trying all this stuff.
They just admitted that they actually can control the weather. They literally just admitted that.
Yeah, you can see it because, like I said, I live right by the thing. You could like, oh, I wonder what Elon's doing today. And they're gonna zap me with lightning or what?
Right.
It's always some crazy stuff going on. And then like a couple of times you'll see it, and then on the news, the local news, they'd be like, oh, people in Orlando saw this, and some people would actually have been recording, and they see it. I'm like, okay, yeah, I wasn't drinking yesterday. I was completely going, yeah, I did see it. Okay, yeah. Just making sure I didn't record it. And I was like, because sometimes you'll see stuff and you'll just be like, I don't have time to think about that because you're doing work or whatever.
What part of Idaho are you in, Steve?
Southeast Idaho.
Like, what is that by Boise?
No, other side of the state.
Oh, okay. Let's see. I've never even been there, man. It's amazing I even know about Boise.
Yeah, Idaho's
Is
nice.
it flat where you're at, or is there mountains there?
Oh, it's pretty mountainous. I can see the Tetons from my front door.
When I was
Nice.
when I was in the Army, I was stationed in Oklahoma, and it's all flat.
Yeah.
One of my buddies was from Colorado, and he's like, "Hey, you want to come back to my town for we had a weekend pass." He's like, "Yeah, I live." I'm like, "Oh, he lives in Colorado. I get to see the Rockies." This mofo lived in the flattest ass part of Colorado. It's
In Colorado.
in Oklahoma. I'm like, dude, what the hell did you bring me for?
Yeah, Eastern
I thought we
Colorado.
were going to the mountains. He's like, oh no, it's flat here. I'm like, no, you don't say.
Cornfield, you don't say.
Shit, man.
That's pretty funny.
Steve, how high are the mountains where you're at?
So where I live, we're about 5,500 feet, but
Oh, okay.
the
You're
mountains
up there.
go up from there. So
I lived in the Pocono Mountains of Pennsylvania, but that topped out at like 2,000. So they call
That's
them
really nice.
yeah,
That's really nice.
it's pretty mountainous where I'm at.
Yeah, where I grew up is-
I live in the Snake River Plain.
Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry.
You're
No,
like
go
right
for
at sea level, aren't you?
What's that?
Houston's like right at sea level, isn't it?
We're like 100 feet above.
Okay.
Not
Like
bad.
New Orleans?
Not bad.
Yeah. Well, it still floods, but
Yeah, no, what's really funny is that with all the different types of stuff, I just drove from Orlando up to Washington State, right? Because I had to go deliver a bunch of stuff, and I drove through the top of Idaho because we went up through Montana and the little top
So
piece
you
of
went-
Idaho.
So Coeur d'Alene.
Yeah, Coeur d'Alene. Yeah, I went through
Yeah.
all that. Yeah, it was great. My friend that I drove with, he grew up and was born and raised in Missoula. So he went through there. He told me all about that. We went to Wall Drug. We went to all those different places. It was really amazing. I never.
drive each way, isn't it?
What's that?
That's like a 4,000-mile drive each way, isn't it?
It was like 3,400 miles. Like almost. I mean, yeah, almost there.
Wow.
It was nice.
Spokane is beautiful. Or, I mean, Coeur d'Alene's beautiful.
Yeah, it was really nice. I was actually, because like I said, I've been to the West Coast. I was born in California, but I've lived in Florida since I was a little kid. But yeah, like I said, I've never been up to Montana in that area, so we get to drive through all there. It was really nice. Got to see like Northeast Idaho. Even it was at night, we get to drive through, but it was really nice. It was beautiful. Got to go through all the mountain passes. We did all 7 of them. But it was in September, so it wasn't like nothing had happened yet. No mountain snow, no blizzard, no wind. I mean, it was windy, but we made it through, and I was like,
by September up there normally.
yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Coeur d'Alene's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm actually interested to go to possibly go up there again and check it out some more, because that I've been all through the South, like all through Texas, Arizona, California, Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana. I've been through all those places, but like the northern portion, I haven't been really like much to. I've been to like Minnesota like once or twice, but got to go up to Coeur d'Alene. It was amazing. All those different places, awesome.
Yes,
I'm very little travel through the northern United States.
You need to.
Yeah, you need to.
For North
For
Dakota, nah, just
skip that.
skip North Dakota.
Skip that.
Yep.
That's about
South
an
Dakota.
8-hour drive and nothing, right? North Dakota.
Yeah, I did the oil field thing for 6 months, and I hated every second of that place.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like South Dakota needs to figure out the highway and like how to smooth it out. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what's up with that, because I felt like I was gonna die driving. We hit a pothole in South Dakota and almost took our trailer off our truck.
The only thing South Dakota has going for it is the Corn Palace, and it ain't much.
I heard about the Corn Palace. I didn't see it, but I was like, the Corn Palace. I'm like, are you like doing a reference or something?
In South Dakota?
What's that?
Is it Mount Rushmore in South Dakota, or is that North Dakota?
I think it's South. I think so. I don't think we drove past a bunch of different areas. I don't think we got to see that, but we saw the signs for it, so I knew it was around there somewhere.
Right.
It was really nice. I mean, what's that?
Good pheasant hunting if you like bird hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard a lot about that.
You can go to
too.
Wyoming and pheasant hunt and not be in South Dakota.
We got tons
What
of
don't you
rednecks
like about
down
South Dakota?
There's nothing there, dude. Absolutely nothing.
Well, that's good and bad.
Yeah. Well, that's
and
true.
winters are awful.
The world could end, and no one in South Dakota would know unless they turn their TV on.
Well, that's a fact. So,
that's
South Dakota,
that's not exactly a bad thing. It's not.
South Dakota,
all
you
the
get
missile silos. Are they North Dakota?
there are a bunch in Wyoming.
Okay.
Either
Southern
that or
Wyoming.
Montana.
Yeah.
Wyoming or Montana.
There, then.
Yep.
Oklahoma and Nebraska, like they're scattered.
I know that if the world did end, though, and you're from South Dakota and you went to everywhere else that wasn't the end of the world, you'd be like, wow, this is actually a pretty good vacation from South Dakota.
It's really nice outside of here.
You're like, wow, it's devastation. Like, have you ever seen endless nothing?
That's Oklahoma.
So that's the problem.
Oklahoma,
Is
I'm sure,
South Dakota is like the Oklahoma of the northern
So
states.
it's just a bigger Oklahoma.
Yes. It's a
With
bigger
fewer people.
Oklahoma that gets worse weather.
I remember
Oh,
when
God.
I was in basic, and I requested Fort Dix, New Jersey, because it was close to my house, Hawaii, and Germany for my duty stations. And they said, Clark, you're going to Oklahoma. I was like, what the?
I was joking.
Yeah, no, like I would have never gone there in my life, and I will still never go back there if it wasn't for the Army, man. It was like where the men are men and the sheep don't sleep.
Well, you get to learn some geography. I'm like, wow, there's a place on the map.
There
Wow.
was one hill on the whole base called MB1. It's like a 250, 300-foot hill. And they used to make us run up that son of a bitch 5 times a month. Because it was like, we're the infantry guys, And it was like
It's the
really
thing to do.
It wasn't that tall, but it was really steep. And they would make us run up that son of a bitch every week.
It's the thing to do, and you're going to do it. Like, oh, man. Torture you up on there.
Yeah.
That's great. So what are you guys working on this stream? What is this stream about? Like I saw the title of it, but I just clicked on it. I just went straight to it. What's the main stream about here tonight?
If you figure it out, let us know.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
absolutely.
So we started out asking Freedom about his channel and whatnot, and we went into a little bit of prepping, and then Steve joined us, and yeah, we're just all over the place.
I ruined it all.
Hey, Galaxy, did you see my new live action movie?
Yeah, I did see that, and I was going to comment on it, but the other night I was up late and I was putting these gutters together, and I was like, oh, I have to comment on this. You know what it reminded me of? Have you ever seen that movie, Children of Men, where they're driving? There's like Americans in the Revolution. You ever seen that movie?
I have not. I'll have to check it out now.
So basically, for those who haven't seen it, it's a movie about in 2027. Like America goes into a revolution for all these different reasons, and some guy's in England. He's walking around. He looks on the TV. He sees America's in a revolution, and like the whole world is in this disaster because all the women can't get pregnant anymore because of something happened. Yeah. So then the youngest person on the earth is like some person, and every time they die, they have them on the news. And I was like, wow, that sounds awfully familiar. Like something happened, and oh wow. And I've seen it, in the early 2000s. And right when you're on your movie, when you're driving down the road, I'm like, this looks like exactly that. And then you pulled the stuff out of the trunk. I'm like, wow, this is like what actually happens in America during that time. I'm like, the real SHTF. And I'm like, wow.
Oh,
and
man,
then
that video brought the trolls out. They're all telling me you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong. I'm like, it's basically a fucking commercial for, products that I've reviewed.
Yeah.
Like, you would never put your gas mask on. I'm like,
are you sure? I mean,
I'm like, dude, it's entertainment. Are you not entertained?
I thought it was fantastic. I'm like, oh, this is great because it was good because as you're going, you have like the graphics are going with no music, and then you have the radio going, right? And the radio is like loud enough to where it's almost like as you're watching, it's in your head and you're the driver. Right. I like how you put that like that. That was really good.
It, man. My daughter helped me with that. It took me quite a few hours to edit all that together. What are you pounding the vodka over there, Texan? What was that you were drinking? Was that a bottle of whiskey?
Oh, are you talking to Steve?
No, on Tactical Texan.
I just got a bottle of water.
Oh, I thought you were pounding whiskey over there.
No.
I got some Arizona iced tea. That's about it.
Yeah, I got some coffee.
Yeah. But I think I love the mini movies. I think those are awesome. Like I was thinking about putting some together. I have one. I filmed a bunch right before I was going to. I'll film like a part of it right as I was going to Washington. Wearing a shirt right here. See the Solid Snake shirt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was filming because I had
Solid Snake.
Yeah, I love that. It's like a game I played as a kid. And it was like kind of like helped me learn about it's Metal Gear Solid for those in the chat for rewatching the video. Metal Gear Solid, you play as a clone of a guy, an army guy in the 60s who did a bunch of stuff in Russia and like a bunch of Soviet Union stuff. He passed away. You play as a clone of this guy, and you do all these secret missions for the government. You find out, wow, the government's terrible, and you go against all the secret little robots and clones and other little henchmen and mercenary groups. Which a lot of that stuff ended up becoming true, exactly, literally the things that they have in the game, which is great.
You know what's crazy? I remember I was telling you I live in the middle of nowhere. I am so in the middle of nowhere. I filmed that video on public streets.
Wow.
I'm walking down the street with a suppressed pistol and a gas mask and body armor on a public road.
Yeah. That's what made me think.
In the middle of nowhere I am.
That's what made me think of the movie because I'm like, wow, it looks like the collapse of the world because I was like, he pulled out the gun. Wow, he's got to be in his backyard or something because you're walking down the street with a suppressed gun. He's walking down the street with a suppressed gun. I'm like, wow, I didn't even think about it. That's a nice road. Must be a long driveway or something. I didn't even think about a public road. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty out there.
You'd have a SWAT response, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Be here in 30 seconds.
I can do it in my backyard. I just have to look around because my backyard's fenced in and stuff. Make sure my neighbor's not looking over the fence. Oh, what are you doing? You about to take somebody out? No, Bob, I'm good.
I do that all the time. I go outside. I look at my neighbor's yard. I'm like, oh, they're not outside. I can film this video out here. No problem.
Yeah.
Do you live in the country, Steve?
Yeah, I have an acre. I'm in a subdivision, but I live on an acre, and all my neighbors are used to me doing stupid shit. So
nice.
That's cool. Are you able to shoot on your property?
I technically can, but I have a neighbor that lives behind me that I don't think he would appreciate it when he's got cows in his pasture.
Right. Yeah, that's understandable.
But yeah, technically I could. I got another neighbor that set up a pistol range in his backyard with some steel.
That's cool.
What, dog? What the hell you want?
He wants
You're
to make sure
good.
the ATF's not here.
Yeah.
He hears you talking to people he wants to talk to. He's like, what? Can I join? You know?
He loves to talk. That's for sure.
Yeah.
What kind of dog you got?
What's that?
What kind of dog is it?
He is Australian Shepherd Retriever mix.
I have
Little short legs.
Yeah, he's got long legs.
I had an Australian healer, but he was kind of small.
Yeah,
aren't
no,
they
this
usually
guy's
short?
this guy's like 65 pounds.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I have a
Oh,
dog.
wow, it's pretty large.
He lives outside and protects the rabbits.
Yeah, this guy just lives in here and protects us.
Right.
Oh, that's adorable.
Cool.
Yeah, he's a good dog.
Steve has a grizzly bear.
That's
Mhm.
correct.
Ooh.
Got a lot of little
What do you
bags.
All right,
see with the
gentlemen,
grizzly bear?
it has been a great time, but I have to go out and feed some animals. So
Yes, sir. Definitely be safe out there.
Yeah,
Definitely.
thanks for joining, Freedom. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Adventures.
Oh, no worries. It's all good, man.
all right, man. You guys all have a great night. Thanks for having me on.
Stay safe.
Thank you.
Stay
Appreciate
safe,
it.
sir.
Take it easy, guys. Nice meeting you,
sir.
Steve.
That was
And
nice
good
to meet
seeing you
man.
again, brother. What's your name, man?
Steve.
Alexi. You got like it.
Oh, my real name is Britton.
Okay, Britain. All right.
Britain.
Nice to meet you in in chat mode. So
Yeah, absolutely,
all right, guys,
sir.
take it all easy, man.
Yes, sir. You be safe. Have a great night.
Later, guys.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so Adventurous, what do you do on your channel?
I actually, I just do a bunch of random stuff because I really started the channel just because my friend, he was like, let's start YouTube channels. And I was like, okay. And I had a bunch of videos saved up from the Marine Corps from like 2009 or 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I just started posting stuff. And then around 2013 and 14, I was like, wow, there's a lot of really crazy stuff going on. Because ever since a kid, I've been into like, I guess you could call them conspiracy analysis because it's not like a theory. It's like, oh, I just saw that. That's weird.
Right.
So even like you said, you guys mentioned Alex Jones and stuff. I watched a lot of the documentaries that he had in the late 90s growing up as a kid because my grandfather, my grandmother, they were into like, wow, the government's sacks of shit. You should not like them. I was like, wow, okay, yeah, love my grandma, so I believe you. And then through the video, I just started, dropping my opinions and just random stuff that I liked. And then around 2015, I got 100 subscribers in 2015. I was like, hey, let's start doing the little videos about little, random news segments and clips because I saw all these different people coming up. And I wasn't really sure. So I was just like, I just kind of do just random stuff because I like outdoor, I like guns, I like, talking about random stuff, just pretty much everything. Just I guess, what men like, but mostly like kind of my opinion, mostly like what I think is important. And then other things that are like around that, like America, the U.S. government is weird. I mean, people finally figured it out. Like, yeah, that's great. Things are in flames and, there's some aliens flying around in the back and some floods and some, politicians doing some weird stuff and some other, Diddy party oil. And you're like, oh, there's a lot going on. Welcome to America. Hey, it's like a boat sinking, but everything's great. You know what I'm saying? Like we live here. It's great. We help each other out. And it's just kind of like that. Like, I have a lot of friends who live in other countries, just kind of showing them stuff. Like, it's always like the very weird, strange things that go on in America. People are like, oh, that's a really weird video. I'm like, yeah, but it's like something that I found that is interesting. Like, I did the video about the Las Vegas alien thing, especially here in Florida. They had the Miami alien thing. People are like, yo, what's up with that? And I was like, a couple of my friends are security guards and police officers and detectives down south are like, yo, man, this is weird. And they're like, yo, look at this. And some reports that come up like, whoa, that's really strange. Like, yeah, that happens here. And it's like actual assets were diverted. Military assets were diverted. So like something happened, it's always like it's weird stuff like that. Hurricane, always doing hurricane stuff. Letting people know what the Southeast is about. Florida, I do scalloping videos. I go to ranges. I go shoot at the range. And just a lot of stuff that I just enjoy doing. But then always every once in a while, YouTube, they're always, I brought into things that I like to do, videos about. Because from like 2016 to 2019, I was very mad because YouTube, like they blocked a bunch of my videos. They zapped a bunch, They gave me a bunch of strikes. At the end of 2019, I heard about the jab coming out. I was like, whoa, we got to do something. But I was like, is it fake? Maybe, am I being trolled or whatever? Because I just came from Okinawa, 2010. So I heard people live out there like, oh, what's going crazy? I'm like, okay. I put out a video in 2020. Oh, I was doing good. I put out a couple more videos in February. Oh, wow, COVID. People are like, what is that? Oh, you're trolling. I'm like, no, it's coming. And then 2 months later, oh, did you hear about the thing? I'm like, yeah, here we go. I put out another one, zapped. I'm like, whoa, okay, let me calm down a little bit. I put out another one. They gave me a strike. I was like, all right, let me relax a little bit. And then like the whole George Floyd fucking incident went down where they, allegedly had this thing and it just was all over the news while everyone was in their houses. Randomly, people were taking airplanes a week before to prepare for this giant mayhem thing. So I found that a little weird. I did logistics and I thought, dang, as everyone was scared for their lives, because I actually had a family member of mine who was so afraid of the news propaganda, they sat on their couch and died because they literally were so afraid they would not go outside. They actually died on their couch because they would not go outside because of the news propaganda. So I was like, okay, you had that going on, but then mysteriously everybody was out here for these protests. I'm like, where did they get who purchased all them plane tickets? We did the calculations. There was like 2 million people protesting all at the same time across the thing. I'm like, where did these people come from? I found that odd, so just little things like that. I'm always doing stuff, and it's just about me and just me and my buddies here in Orlando and people that I meet across the internet, just things I find interesting that most people would not ever, not necessarily talk about, or they would kind of skip over. That's kind of what the channel is about, and things that are fun and interesting,
Right.
Yeah.
So what was the Orlando's official explanation for that whole alien in the mall thing?
So it was like this. I think it was like this really popular mall in Miami, right? In South Florida, there's like this really popular road. It's like A1. It's like A1A. There's like this one mall that's really popular there. The official explanation from the actual state of the police was, oh, there was an incident and our officers responded. Something. We'll tell you later. But the majority of people that were there that I talked to and actual police officers are saying either some people or some type of creature appeared in the mall and walked right through like the really popular area where they have all the super expensive like Versace, the Armani and all these different stores, like right in this one area. They like walked down and they were just like, people just saw them and they just bugged out. Like, well, why didn't someone pull out their phone? I'm like, well, if it was like a grizzly bear or something that you knew what it was, you would be like, oh, wow, that's a bear. Oh my God, I'm scared. But if it was something you've never seen before, a lot of people don't know how to react. People might even just drop their phone and turn and just fucking just sprint. You know what I mean? Well, whatever it was, whether it was a government guy in a suit, like it was so weird, or it was like, the army has some type of extra stuff that they don't tell you about, and then they bust it out. And you're like, what is that? Project Bluebeam, whatever it was. People said that they saw super tall, skinny creatures walking through the mall, and it looked at a person and pointed at them. And one thing I do know is that they, the U.S. military had, because there's a lot of secret stuff. They got like sub bases. They got all kinds of military stuff all through Florida, because it's like obviously like they have NASA. They got all these secret bases, all the Lockheed Martin stuff. They had a plane, just like how the hurricane here for the Milton, how you could find a plane doing the super loop, and people are like, what is all that? They had one of those here right over that mall, but it looped around it like 47 times and blocked out everyone's cell phone signals, and all these people are having problems. But all the ones that got out, it showed somebody's apartment in Miami, some high-rise apartment that's probably like, $4,000 a month. They looked over like down the way, and they saw like 700 cop cars just all this
that's
mall.
the video I saw.
So that corresponded with the story of the military blocking out the cell phone signal and everyone's phones. The whole Florida, everyone's phones glitched out for like 2 days. You know what I mean? That was the same day that
closed the airport or something too, right? They wouldn't. There was no planes in or out, or
because they had all the military assets. They all parked up there, and it's like, if you've ever been in like the military or worked for a state or like a large organization, like like linemen or any type of oil rig or any like stuff, you're like, hey, we need to get all these helicopters to go right now. You're like, you would have had to have people sitting there already ready to go. Like aliens appeared, and then they sprint out, get in their planes, and then show up 5 minutes later and block out all of Florida stuff. Like you would have to have already had people. Like you see like the double Dutch, like the girls are doing the double Dutch thing, but like they're like sitting there at their planes waiting to jump in. Like you would have had to known. Like you couldn't have had all these military assets, all these cop cars, like hundreds of cops. And if you've known cops, like they don't have 500 people on duty at any given time. They have like maybe 100 or so, and then they have more people they can call. I was like, wow, that was fast. And it was the same day Cat Williams did the interview talking about everybody's on some Diddy oil stuff. Like, damn. Damn. I did a live stream and I was like, what's that?
Misinformation at its finest.
I mean, yeah, however they did that. But yeah, that I guess so that was the explanation for that. A lot of people that I talked to said that something really weird happened. The cops and the military, they pulled up doing some weird stuff, and everyone's phones, including my phone. I even did a live stream at the time. It was glitching out, doing crazy stuff. I did a live stream with the thumbnail was Cat Williams and an alien like this, like both looking like this, like that. So I remember thinking that at the time, like, yeah, something's going on. So I remember I did a live stream so I wouldn't forget. So that was the thing in that. And then, because it's people would think like, that's really crazy. How could that be possible? Well, they did say that we're going to have 2 moons for a couple months. I'm like, oh, that's, I don't know if you saw the whole 2 moon thing that they're talking about.
Seems like I remember hearing something about it, but I didn't really pay any attention to it.
Well, that seems totally normal.
Yeah. So basically there's like a comet that's coming out of space. I don't know how they figured this out. And it's going to be large enough to see it. It's going to be next to the moon. And they have a small moon next to the moon. It's going to rotate for 2 months and leave. And they're like, how do you know that before it even got, did you call him on the phone? Like, oh yeah, he's going to come. He'll be here for 2 months, bro. Like, how do you, I've never, you know what I mean? Like they're just casually just belt off some stuff. And people are like, whatever, my bills are so high, I don't even care what you're saying. That's what most people are thinking. Like,
right.
But, my channel, I just post stuff on the community page like, on this day, 2024, the government, somebody, somewhere, it bubbled up. They're like, put out the story, there's going to be 2 moons. Yeah, anyway, back to Kamala and Trump. You're like, did you just say there's going to be 2 moons? Like, right before the mega hurricane that, blasted everything, and just the lithium mine people are just creeping out of nowhere like, yes, Asheville, I must have you. Like, Yeah,
that was another crazy thing. Like, just so happened to be a contract for a big old lithium mine, right?
Yep.
Where all the houses disappeared.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's like, people are like, how, and one of the things that really does bother me is that people are using like outdated language to describe like the government failed us. Like, no, they didn't fail. They aimed right at you and they got you.
Yeah.
They didn't fail. They're getting you. And they're thinking about it like, yes. And then like, they're so mad. Like, imagine how mad. There's like a Kevin Hart skit where he talks about you have to be really mad to do something and be mad all the way through doing it. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, he's like, your dad was so mad. He's like ripping the Christmas tree lights off, but he has to like rip it all the way off and mad the whole way. Like, that's a lot. You have to be really mad to rip the Christmas tree lights off all the way down. And imagine the government like does somehow they're like, yes, the lithium mine area was destroyed. And they're like, people aren't dead. They're like doing supplies. And they're like, go get a Black Hawk helicopter and just, rotor wash those people. Like, how mad do you have to be to fly all the way over? Like, and be a government helicopter trolling people because they're not dead. And you're like, that must be really, really like stressful. Like, I need this lithium mine. But, it's like, couldn't you just have paid them? Like, here's $100,000, here's $500,000, go buy a house somewhere else. They can literally have the money, but it's just like they're so petty that they'll just have a helicopter troll people after a hurricane.
Well, it's got to look like it's out of their hands, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
it's
had
just,
nothing to do with it.
yeah, but it's like it's out of our hands. But everybody else in the history of existence is too poor to have done this.
All right.
And it's like it's just as strange as now untactical. It's like I got to go to bed, but like the Las Vegas shooting stuff like that. Have you seen that documentary that what's her name did? It's on Rumble about the shooting. There's so much weird stuff that happened all at one time during that one event.
Oh yeah, I definitely I remember that. My uncle and family lives in Las Vegas. I have a big family, and they were like, "Oh snap! Something's going on." And I did a live stream about it, but that was like 2017 was a while ago. But
there was shootings that took place in like several casinos at the exact same time, but you didn't hear about those shootings. It was just about the dude in Mandalay.
Yeah,
but
and
the trajectory of each round didn't
was all
match
over
up.
the place.
Yeah, it couldn't have been him from like
Yeah.
some of the
None
where
of
they
that.
bullets hit.
None of that added up.
Yeah, I also did an audio analysis of the machine gun because that's what it was. It was an M240 Bravo. People were like, wow, that sounds really familiar.
But that was
But,
no 5.56 with a bump
yeah.
stock. No way.
Oh yeah.
No.
Oh, remember, if you die doing that, as he died, he like died and covered himself with guns. And you're like, how does you tuck yourself in with your bump stock ARs after you get blasted? That's really weird.
Convenient.
Oh man, Adventurous, you want to come on the channel sometime and we'll do a live chat? I think it would be very entertaining.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate you staying up late. I appreciate you having me on Tactical Texan, and Steve. It's great meeting you as well. Definitely, I'll subscribe to your channels and I'll share a lot of your stuff because, like I said, I'm doing some hurricane stuff, and I just put up some gutters and dug a trench in my backyard. But yeah, everything's doing good.
Awesome. I subbed you already, so
Thank you. Appreciate it.
yeah, let's get you on.
And you stay safe down there, dude. I'm worried about everybody down there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. It sucks, but it's like one of those Florida things. My neighbor, she's on an oxygen machine, and last hurricane the power went out, and she didn't have she had to go to a hotel and do all this stuff. So I have a generator, so if anything happens, I'll make sure that they're able to use that until they can figure out something else. So make sure everybody's taken care of. There's two, they can't leave. They're too old. You know what I mean?
Good neighbor. That's what this country needs more of.
Yeah, man. So y'all have a good night. Definitely stay safe wherever you're at. And I can't wait to talk to y'all again.
Yeah, man. I'll hit you up. Let's do a live. We'll get Steve in here too. We'll do a live coming up soon.
Absolutely, man. Y'all stay safe.
All right.
All right, y'all. I'm going to end the stream. Don't forget to subscribe to all three of us, actually, if you're not. Steve, Adventurous Guide to the Galaxy, and myself. Give these guys a sub. 2A does some 2A. Range Minded does some good 2A content, and apparently Adventurous Guide to the Galaxy does a little bit of everything. So give them a sub, and signing off. Gentlemen, good night, and anybody watching, good night, and we will see you next time.
All right.
All right.
Guys.
Y'all have a good night. See you later.
Yep. Take care.
Later.